Nestled in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains lies a beacon of racing. A gladiator's arena a half-mile long, covered in dirt. To make it out here, you've got to have grit and a willingness to get down in the mud. You see, the common ground here is battling it out in the dust and muck, bumping and running on grooves of soil. Thunder Valley has a new look. And you can't be afraid to get dirty. Tonight, drivers will slip, slide, and fight for the prize.
Slide job, here it goes. Who's going to save it?
Because this is Bristol Dirt.
Great weather for tonight's special event race. Glad you're watching Fox NASCAR live from Bristol Motor Speedway. And now, our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as you are able and remove your hats as the United States Navy sailors, USS Constitution, present our nation's colors. Here to offer tonight's invocation, please welcome from Van Zant Church of Christ in Van Zant, Virginia, Mike Rife.
Dear God, on this great day of celebration, we thank you for our country, our military, our police departments, our first responders, and all the leaders in our local communities. We thank you for this event. We pray that you will bless each and every participant of tonight's race, their team and their families. We thank you for the host and the sponsor, and we pray this prayer in the name of the one that gives us the reason to celebrate because he walked out of his tomb. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome K-Love Fan Awards Female Artist of the Year from Nashville, Tennessee, Riley Clemens.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It's a beautiful evening weather-wise. Thanks for being a part of NASCAR on Fox. Happy Easter, and enjoy the race, everybody.
Racing from Bristol, Tennessee on the dirt. Presented on Fox by Coyote Tractors. 3 years in a row, Bristol Motor Speedway has transformed the world's fastest concrete half mile to a dirt track, to the delight of dirt fans nationwide, to the delight of some but consternation of some drivers. Well, two of the dirt specialists, Tyler Reddick and Chase Briscoe, battling for the lead at the end of last year's race, and around they go. Kyle Busch steals one. and becomes the second non-dirt track specialist to win the Bristol Dirt Race. Joey Logano won it in the inaugural year. Kyle Busch last year. Where were all the dirt specialists? Well, here are a couple. I'm Mike Joy with Tony Stewart and Clint Boyer. Where are the dirt track diggers?
Well, here we are. You know, 2 races in a row here we've had specials, right? This is a one-off race. These dirt race ringers you should have, they should be up front. They are. They've never won it. 2 years in a row they've never won it. Why they haven't won it? Because they keep wrecking each other, just like you saw. But I think that changes this tonight, Tony. I really do. I think that changes. One of these ringers is going to win the race.
Well, you're watching the drivers. The one thing I'm looking at, I'm watching this racetrack. This track is going to continue to change from lap 1 to the finish of this race. So if I'm a driver, if I'm a crew chief or a spotter, that's what I'm watching all night long, is watching how this racetrack changes and trying to figure out how do I move around and find the best grip on it.
How will the track change? What will happen?
It's just going to continue to get drier. The more laps they put on it, the soft, wet material on top is going to move off and get pushed to the outside. And when it does that, the grip level is going to change with it. So they're constantly going to be chasing where the moisture is on the racetrack and where they can get the maximum grip.
And I think the interesting thing about that is it moves up. It keeps moving up higher, higher, higher. Then all of a sudden you're running around the bottom. It starts blowing. You throw that roost up on the racetrack, creating marbles. That's what I love about dirt racing.
Once a year we come to the dirt, and here we are. So, Clint, how can people win $10,000 of your cash tonight?
It's this easy. Get on that Fox Bet Super 6 app, put in those picks, come and get my money. $10,000 on the line. Always fun to see this, but I'm telling you, these are hard questions. Hard to win my $10,000. You got to earn it. Free to play.
The correct answer to all of them is Kyle Larson tonight, right?
Maybe not. We'll see.
All right, the dirt track specialists against those who've won it before, to our amazement. Let's go trackside.
And now, race fans, here to say the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome Senior Navy Flag Officer, Rear Admiral Josh Jackson.
America's Navy, your Navy, damn the torpedoes, and drivers, start your engines!
All those beautiful race cars, so beautiful and pristine. What will they look like after 250 laps on the dirt at Bristol? And cushions and slide jobs. Oh my, gonna be a fun night at Bristol. Now the starting lineup was set through 4 heat races. A combination of finishing position and passing points set the Coyote Tractor's starting grid. Kyle Larson earned his 2nd pole of 2023. Acknowledged as likely the best dirt driver in the field, Austin Dillon won the first qualifying heat last night. J.J. Yaley has the best start ever for Rick Ware Racing. Started 9th in his heat, finished 3rd. And 3-time Chili Bowl champ Christopher Bell. Kyle Busch, the surprise winner here last year. And Tyler Reddick, who led 99 laps last year and almost won it. Austin Cindric had a great run in his qualifying heat. Ryan Preece climbed to 2nd in his heat, right on the bumper of Kyle Larson. Ryan Blaney, top 8 in both dirt races here at Bristol, and William Byron, who finished 3rd in the trucks last night. Clint, who's on the dial-a-tone?
It's Austin Dillon. Speaking of last night, had a great heat race, by the way. I want to hear about that. Hey, Austin Dillon, Boyer and the boys up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. Got you loud and clear.
Man, you had an awesome heat race, held off Reddick there. Great battle. Went to the whip a little bit, pulled back by him. But because of that good heat race, you're starting up front. Got a good view of this racetrack. What does the racetrack look like, and how are you going to keep up with it throughout the night?
It seems like it's got a little moisture in the middle of the track right now, a little darker down low. I'm sure we're going to kick those crumbs up, and maybe for a few laps this top will be good, and I think it'll slick off here in a little while, and we'll see some good racing. Last night was a blast in our Bread Street Chevy, and hopefully we can keep it up again.
All right, buddy. Good so far. Good luck out there.
Thank you, sir.
Now, his racing roots are in dirt late model racing. He'll be a contender tonight. All right, let's go to pit road and get some late breaking stories. Birthday girl Jamie Little is first.
Thank you so much, Mike. Well, it's been a great weekend for Joey Logano already. Last night, he led 138 laps in the truck race, drove into victory lane. win in just his 9th start in that series. Now, as far tonight, he told me he knows what to expect. He's anticipating what changes to make as this track changes tonight. And he also noted that the drier this track is, the dustier it is, the better his chances are of winning here on Bristol Dirt for the 2nd time. Regan Smith.
Well, Jamie, Chase Briscoe, one of our dirt track ringers who's expected to contend tonight and nearly won this race a year ago, is racing with a bit more of a challenge. Earlier this week at Bulls Gap Speedway, he broke his left middle finger. He has a custom form fit cast on that hand to allow him to be in the race car and still race without the pain in that hand. Keep an eye on that. He said the only time it's a problem if the car gets really tight and he's got to use that left hand a certain way. Josh Sims?
Well, Regan, you don't get the nickname Superman without being superhuman at something. And dirt specialist Jonathan Davenport is just that, racking up over $2 million in winnings on the dirt last year alone. Well, this is his first time in a cup race. He's in the 13 car, and he said the one thing he can draw upon is his ability to read the dirt and how the track is going to change. Everything else is much different. He's just hoping he can show everybody why they call him Superman.
Thanks, Josh. 37 drivers lined up, 3 stages. Stage breaks at lap 75 and lap 150 of this 250 lap event.
Cannot say enough about this guy in 3rd place, J.J. Yaley. Phenomenal job last night. Passing points were awesome. That car, that 15 car is up front because of that boy behind the wheel. J.J. Yaley, a very good dirt racer. Keep an eye on him.
Chevy Silverado pace truck is in, and here we go on the dirt at Bristol.
Way up out of the groove. William Byron having trouble, got up too high. Track looks like it's got quite a bit of moisture in it so far, Tony.
Yeah, and I don't think they have to be that high yet. I think some of these guys look at that and think that cushion is already there. That's dirt that they tilled up overnight, and they've been watering that all day. The problem is they haven't laid it down, and that's for a reason. That's intentional to make that hopefully build into a cushion as the race goes on. But right now, it's slick.
And I'm seeing a lot of guys, you see it right there in Ryan Blaney, a lot of guys losing the front end. Cars are tight out there. Heavy track conditions usually mean, you know, you're going to have to be good on the long run. When this thing dries up, probably going to need to be a little bit tight. That means they're going to struggle early.
And talking to a lot of the drivers and crew chiefs before the race, they all talked about tightening their cars up because they felt like as the race went on, they were going to have to be tighter than what they were in the heat races last night. With all the overcast skies and moisture that was in the area, they had to free the cars up to get them to rotate for the heat races. Now they're worried about this long run in the second half of the race.
Absolutely. And Larson was the one that told that best right on the pre-race show, told it to us, said, hey, wasn't happy with that car. Dominated his heat race, passed everybody in the first corner. By the first lap was in the lead. That's why he's on the pole. Got out and was bummed out with his car. Setup's way too loose. Need to tighten this baby up.
Watching the race for 4th here, and lap time starting to come down. 5 drivers have toured the track in under 20 seconds. 2 laps ago, there were only 2 of them, so business is picking up.
And I think a lot of it's air pressure. These guys start the air low, just like they do on a pavement track. As the tire heats up, it's going to build that air pressure, but they don't want to be too high, so you have to start it low. It's probably too low to be optimum, and those pressures as they're coming in, it's starting to make the cars feel better.
And I think the track, you know, not having any support series burning the track in, I think the track was a little bit slimy. Doesn't surprise me that it picks up right here.
Here's one of the stories tonight. Austin Cindric, watching him in his heat, he is a much improved dirt driver than when he came here as a rookie 1 year ago. He's in the lead pack, a breakaway, part of that 7-car breakaway from the pack, just past Kyle Busch and moving forward.
I think you nailed it. That was one of my biggest takeaways from last night was the improvement of Austin Cindric.
But looking at him, you can tell he's driving with a lot of confidence, but the thing that you see is the back of that car is hung out a lot. So I'm not sure if he's going to be as tight as he needs to be at the end of the race, but they're going to have an opportunity to work on it.
Here comes Dylan.
That's right, and I think it's because the 5 of Kyle Larson's getting tight. Austin seems to be a little bit freer. The other thing I heard from his in-car earlier is he's shifting. You see Kyle up there jabbing the gas, trying to get the thing to come around. When every time that thing goes and moves like that, he's doing that with a throttle. Listen up.
You're hearing what he's doing with the throttle, and if the car's tight, that's where you hear him rev it up a little bit, and that's to spin the rear tires to get
Turn
the
2.
car to rotate.
Around goes Bubba Wallace after contact. And one car's up and into the wall, and Joey Logano, who won this race 2 years ago, is into the water barrels that protect the head end of pit road. 4 cars under a blanket, and there was plenty of contact there. Bubba Wallace starts to go around, collecting Logano, Byron, and Gilliland.
You know,
Fox is sponsored by Coyote Tractors, We Dig Dirt, and by the Credit One Bank NASCAR American Express card. Boy, hats off to Steve Swift and his crew here at Bristol and the work they've had to do to transform this concrete racetrack into a half-mile dirt track. The barrels being set up there and affixed at the backstretch pit. Let's check in with our crew chief, Larry McReynolds, for tonight's race strategy, sponsored by Verizon.
You know, Mike, the last 2 races, strategy has been all over the place. It's actually made a big difference in the outcome of the race. It still exists tonight, but it's a little more cut and dry. You only need fuel one time to make this 250-lap race, and the rules say you can only change the 4 tires at the stage break. That leads me to the Verizon race strategy. Pit at the end of stage 1 only, pit at the end of stage 2 only, or possibly pit at the end of both stages. And Mike, honestly, I think we'll see all 3.
That'll be fun to follow, Larry. You can only fuel during the stage breaks. You can pit anytime you need, and when you have a flat tire, you can get that one replaced, as it happened to Todd Gilliland after Bubba Wallace's spin collects 3. Happy Easter, everybody. I heard they had an Easter, Motor Racing Outrage had an Easter egg roll for the drivers, kids, and everybody. How'd that work out?
There was like 3,000 eggs on the ground. There was at least 1,000 kids, it seemed like, down there all fighting for those. It was so fun. Appreciate them doing that all these years, taking care of the children.
Joey Logano's view.
Well, the bad part is Joey saw what was happening in front of him, lifted, and then just got tagged from behind and pushed into Bubba. So,
yeah, he checked up. William got into the back of him once, twice, 3 times, then shot up, and that was the.
And William doesn't see what's going on in front of the 22 car there. That's not William trying to do that intentionally.
Now Logano has been to pit road, Jamie.
Yeah, he said he was just too loose, didn't have drive off, so he came in, he's starting the back anyway, wedge in the right rear, and then on top of it, he sped on pit road, Mike.
How about the choose here?
Larson outside, Christopher Bell inside.
Austin Dillon followed suit on that outside, took the outside, had the opportunity to start on that front row, didn't want it.
Ryan Preece in row 2 with Dillon. Cindric and Reddick in row 3. Briscoe and Busch. Blaney and Byron, the top 10.
Bell had a great restart for holding his own on that bottom. That's hard to do. I think Austin made the right decision in taking the outside, Tony, but nonetheless, good restart by Bell on the bottom. Here they come. Bell, Reddick. That Preece, that 41 car, keep an eye on him. Extremely fast last night in the heat races. Very impressive.
That's the car that won the pole here last year with Cole Custer aboard. And Preece has done quite a job with it, especially for a fellow without dirt track experience.
We're 23 laps into this, and we're already seeing the track start to change the complexion of it. You see the brown dirt, you're starting to see these gray areas, and you'll hear the drivers talking about the track slicking off, and that's what they're talking about. It gets really hard. It starts polishing the hard part of the dirt there, and that will get slicker as the night goes.
I'll tell you what else I'm seeing, Tony, is it widening out. As everybody is rolling around there under caution, it's like they rolled that outside line in, and here it comes in. Everybody's moved up higher in the racetrack. It was almost getting single file before the caution. Now everybody, heck, there's 3 wide off of 4 here.
Looking at fourth on back from Reddick on deep in the field. There's Wallace, who won his heat last night, trying to come back up through.
Middle three, clear up, clear up.
And J.J. Yaley, who started third after maxing out on passing points in last night's heat. Trying to hold on to a top 12 spot here.
Finding that
Triple Crown winner.
Yeah, Triple Crown, awesome. Finding that outside, and that's where he had his success in that heat race.
And these guys, you'll hear their throttle is way less than what you normally hear, and you'll hear sometimes the crew chiefs remind the drivers, you got to act like there's an egg underneath the throttle. Not because of Easter, but you have to treat it very like it's fragile underneath there. You have to make easy movements. Don't do anything too abrupt, too quick.
Ross Chastain carrying our driver's eye cam, the Advent Health onboard camera.
See that
bottom
windshield?
feeder.
But he's trying to stay out of the roost of those cars in front of him too. You can see the windshield getting pretty dirty out there.
Still hanging bumper.
28 laps complete. Looking back from Kyle Busch, last year it was a surprise when he won it. He would not surprise anybody by repeating.
Not at all. I mean, he's got such a dirt background that, and he's used to heavier race cars. He drove dirt late models that are roughly 2,400 pounds. He knows what the heavy car's like.
It's definitely getting slicker, like you said, Tony. You can see the colors starting to change. Cars are starting to slip and slide around. A little bit of dust starting to show up.
Jamie?
Kyle Busch was pretty optimistic after his qualifying race last night. He qualified 5th, and he said, I can get it done from there. They wanted to tighten him up to start this race, though. He was a little bit loose. Now he's saying just a little too tight. He can't carry that entry speed. And remember, Tyler Reddick in the 45 almost won in this A car that Kyle Busch is driving this year.
And there's Reddick in this year's ride, the 45, trailing the car he drove here last year.
Very tough to find a balance for these cars, Tony. We were hearing Larson telling us about being too loose. He was just waiting on his car way too long. Couldn't make any lap time. Didn't have any hustle, as he called it, in his car.
Whoa.
Man, that's some heavy contact. That's one way. Move him. I think he picked up a push. Alex Bowman right there and just got into him. I don't think he meant to do that, but front end took off and it got into him. But back to the balance. That's being too loose. Waiting on the car. He can't make up any time trying to hustle it. But if it's too tight, then you're waiting on it the other way.
Yeah, you're waiting on the right front to get caught up. So it's a balancing act. I mean, truly you want the car as neutral as possible. But the guys know that the track is going to be the best early in the race, and it's going to change. So they have to make sure that they really plan for the end of the race, but you can't give up the front half either.
Joey Logano up 11 spots since the restart. Remember, he was the car that ended up spun into the barrels at the head end of the backstretch pit road, but he's picked up 10 since as Kyle Busch keeps moving forward. Let's check with Josh.
Yeah, let's get an update on the 23 of Bubba Wallace. You saw him get that spin and take a little contact earlier. The team looked at the car, said, doesn't look like you have any damage. You're doing all right. For Bubba, it's all about turning that luck around. He talked about that before the race. Some bad luck early, hoping that's the only bad luck he's going to have.
Well, Josh, Kyle Larson, of course, started from the pole and won his heat race yesterday, but wasn't overly thrilled with that race car. Said it was too loose, didn't have the level of grip that he wanted. The first report to the team so far tonight, we've got more grip, and we are way improved since yesterday. The rest of the field better look out for Kyle here.
38 laps complete next time by. We are halfway through stage 1 at Bristol. Spinner, turn 4, car in the wall. The 51 with guest driver Matt Crafton out of the Craftsman Truck Series. It's Cody Ware dealing with a personal matter this weekend. So Matt Crafton was tapped for the 51, and he spun at turn number 4 to bring out the second caution of the night, lap 39. Caution out. Second time tonight. the 2 cautions that we've had so far in this first stage, which goes 75 laps, same as stage 2. Here's one last look at the spin by Matt Crafton. Look right of your screen, upper right.
Just by himself, probably just lost it in all reality. I mean, and to Matt's credit, I mean, Matt's run a lot with the trucks. He's just not run a Cup car.
Here's what they said.
That was too much. Sure, Matt. Yeah, just way tight in the center, and I'm just trying to set it on entry.
All right, for more on-track conditions, here's Daniel Suarez's team.
Yeah, 10-4. Just keep an eye on, what the track looks like right there in front of you. Pay attention to where it looks slick. Those guys are staying right out of the, keeping their right rear tire out of the black. Yeah, I can barely see the racetrack, man. My windshield is all messed up.
Now, last year, a big concern here was dirt, mud actually, filling up the grill opening of these cars as the race went along. Things looked like this. You don't get a lot of cooling when that grill opening is impacted. Let's take a closer look with Larry McReynolds and our Toyota Cutaway car.
One of the challenges when we go dirt track racing is keep the airflow flowing freely through the radiator. So let's go to our Toyota Cutaway car and our Toyota Tech Center to show you some of the things that teams do a little different. It starts with a grill opening. It protrudes forward about 2 inches, and they put an outerwear that velcros over that can be changed out quickly on a pit stop. Now, just behind that in the ductwork, they'll put a secondary screen. We call it a shaker screen to catch dirt and other debris. Now, air still flows to 2 different places, to the engine and out the hood louvers, but that block-off plate, they will completely eliminate to keep the air flowing a little more freely as it exits out the hood louvers. The bottom line, Mike, you have to have a good handling car, but you have to keep things cool.
Thanks, Larry. 43 complete, 2 caution flags so far, and no problems with mud tonight.
Yeah, these teams have done a really good job of addressing the situations, and every year they get smarter and learn more and more about what to do to protect the grill openings to get fresh air in these cars.
Let's check with Josh.
And you guys were talking about just how tight a lot of these teams have been reporting that their cars have been. Well, the same for Tyler Reddick. So he started off tight to start the race. He said as that run went on, it just got worse and worse. Obviously, he's still running in the top 5, but he can need to use a little help with that car right now.
Christopher Bell complaining of tight also, and here's Austin Dillon.
For people searching for moisture, they want everybody to stay single file in one line. The 20 would run right here between the black and half lane down from there. He's way tighter than everybody else, so it's starting to work for him there a little bit. 8 was right side up to the cushion both ends. Right rear in loose stuff. 3 to 4, a couple laps just because they get up too high. It's not quite there yet.
Little intel for Dillon, who will restart outside the second row. Pace truck heads for home. Kyle show here at Bristol. Larson and Busch the front row.
I'll roll here. I'll roll. You're clear. So by half, are you trying to roll middle?
We saw the launch that Kyle Larson and Austin Dillon got on the top, and we saw this in the truck race last night. The moisture is up high there. If you're on the bottom and on the inside, you're kind of in that black slick area, so it gives those guys a little bit of advantage on the restarts on the top.
Ryan Blaney on the move, powers out of the pack to 5th place here in that bright yellow and black car.
And Ryan Preece right behind him in the 41. But Reddick is really struggling with his car. You heard the 20 and Reddick both complaining about their cars needing some adjustments. They're wanting to get to the end of this stage. They can't fall too far back. I think you lose, as slick as this track's getting, Tony, you lose too much track position, you're going to dig yourself in a hole you might not be able to get out of.
Yeah, I think the longer this race goes, the more important that track position is going to get, because this track eventually will get to where it most likely is going to wear out a little bit, and there's going to be one predominant groove that's going to be the most popular.
Blaney who comes from a long line of dirt trackers, he's got a different approach than everybody else. You see his car rotate as it enters the corner. It's got more yaw in it in the middle of the corner, but boy, he's got a great launch off the corner.
And we saw that last night in his heat race as well. I mean, he's learned how to do that. Same as Kyle Busch here and Austin Dillon. They were all three doing that yesterday. We could see those guys get rotated, and the reason they do that is to try to get the nose of the car and the back of the car square, so when they go for forward drive, they can get in the gas.
This Kyle Busch is extremely good. His car is a little bit freer than Austin Dillon's in front of him. He's poked underneath of him, got Austin looking in the mirror. Austin blocked him on the bottom. He went to the outside. Watch this. Gets the car rotating, can get to the throttle. See Austin shooting up the track, getting tight, a little bit slow on the exit. Kyle gets right to his bumper.
But you can't pass him following him, so change lines, see if you can find something.
But he got him in his mirror. That's the important thing. As you get to his bumper, get him in the mirror, get him moving around. There's your opportunity. Exactly what Kyle Busch did.
And this is Richard Childress Racing, second and third. Teammates this year, adversaries last year. And they are second and third behind Kyle Larson.
We said this at the beginning of the year. Kyle Busch going to Richard Childress Racing was going to elevate Austin Dillon and bring him to a level he's not been at yet.
It's exactly what you're seeing. Spot on, Tony. This battle right behind him with Priest and Blaney, Bell, awesome.
Jamie?
Well, you mentioned Ryan Blaney being a dirt guy. He's set up differently from his two teammates. He wants that car to be able to move out, step out on its own, so it's freer than most drivers in this field would be comfortable with. You see it right there, how it just rotates and pitches itself. And also on top of that, Ryan's got a lot going for him. He went to victory lane last night. He was actually the spotter for Joey Logano, who won the truck race. So already a win here as he's moving his way forward.
Well done. Eric Jones on the backstretch pits was off pace. Corey LaJoie has made a stop that's put him 2 laps down. They got together, made contact, and pitted for repair.
Kyle Busch completing that pass, but Austin Dillon, the patented crossover move, tries to get it turned down, get a big drive off the corner, just can't keep up with Kyle right now.
We're down the line.
I'm extremely impressed with Kyle Busch, and I know what I'm saying there. That sounds like a dumb moment, but he is extremely fast and really the only one that can hold pace with Kyle Larson at the moment.
Well, here's the race for 10th place. Austin Cindric with a mirror full of Alex Bowman, and on the inside, Justin Haley, and here comes Stenhouse.
Got one around. Brad Keselowski off of 4. Caution's out.
No other contact. This comes at lap 58. It's the third caution of the night.
We're going to get it back here.
And every one of these began as single car spins.
I was just fixing to say, man, Tony, I didn't know where to look. They were all over the place, 2, 3 wide. The track is phenomenal. Very wide racing surface. I'm extremely impressed with the job that these guys have done with this dirt track.
The fun car is watching these drivers looking at different angles of some guys are going through the middle and to the top, but we'll see after the break how this shakes out at the end of stage 1.
Come back to the NASCAR Cup Series from Bristol on Fox, presented by Coyote Tractors. Here's tonight's aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, powering the race from green to checkered flag and every mile in between. Goodyear, more driven, giving you a beautiful look at Thunder Valley and the surrounding mountains. NASCAR President Mike Helton, former NASCAR President, who waved the green flag for tonight's race, grew up in Bristol, Virginia, not far from the Speedway. And here is the Choose. It's a Choose drone. You're looking at the camera mounted on the drone. You can't put a Choose cone out there. Somebody'd have to go and get it. So, high-tech solution to the situation. You must clearly choose your lane inside or outside before you reach the Choose drone. Ryan Blaney talking about track conditions here.
I'm just so loose. I cannot get any traction. Wrecking, spinning out, getting in the corner, and no drive on exit. I'm just locked to the right, trying to be as swift as I can, but track's getting pretty slick here.
And here's some radio from Chase Briscoe.
Saying once that time gets further and further around and then gets more and more blown off, it's going to be harder for it to, work, and then it's going to start creeping back down the racetrack, and I feel like that's where, like right now, that makes me think that we'd be pretty good.
Well, we'll see how that works out. Briscoe with a cast on his hand, broke his finger, not racing, but at the track Thursday night. Made a deal with the doctor, he said. If you'll just let me race Bristol, I promise I'll show up Monday for the surgery to make repairs.
And I found out there's a very good possibility he may not have to have surgery now.
Great.
So it's unfortunate. It was at a dirt race this week, but listen, you got to live your life. You got to enjoy life. And if you're at least driving race cars to get ready for a dirt race, a dirt event at Bristol, I'm all for it still.
All right, it'll be 11 to go in stage 1. 6 of the top 8 right now are dirt track diggers, and that includes Blaney, whose family owns a dirt track.
Sharon Speedway.
In Ohio.
Austin Dillon leaning on Larson, trying to move him up the racetrack.
Kyle Busch to the top right away. Gets a good launch off 2. Dillon up to block, and Busch looks to the bottom. Remember, they are teammates. I hope they remember. Austin likes the middle. He's got a mirror full of Ryan Preece, then Blaney, then Christopher Bell.
See that hole forming. Watch Ryan Preece bounce through it right there. Sometimes you can use that as your advantage. You know, if your car's a little bit loose, you hit that hole, find some side bite in it.
Kyle Busch to second and closing on Kyle Larson now.
Have to be careful with things like that, though. You hit that hole too hard, you could roll your tire off the bead.
And it's a hole after all. I mean, it doesn't make the car ride very well through there. So not only the tire, but the splitter on the front of the car. There's a lot of things that you have to be careful of trying to aim for spots like that. But as this track gets slicker, those guys will aim for that. That will hold the car just enough to help them get that lap time.
7 laps away from awarding the first stage points of the night, and the stage breaks will have non-competitive pit stops as Austin Dillon comes back at Kyle Busch for second.
Kyle's pretty much committed himself to this top lane there, and Austin is just able to roll the middle of the corner. It seems like it's getting harder and harder to have smooth, consistent laps on the top right now.
Yeah, Austin did a good job of taking advantage of that restart, starting on the bottom. I thought that was going to be a disadvantage, but actually got the position back on his teammate, found some speed out of his car.
The big surprise is Ryan Preece in fourth. Since quarter midgets, I don't think he's done any dirt racing.
Well, I think I've been pretty clear. I'm on that bandwagon. I've had my eye on him all weekend long. He's very impressive, has a lot of speed in his car. He's done a good job behind the wheel for sure.
Remember who his crew chief is, Chad Johnston. The truck race at Knoxville last year, winning truck. Chad has really got a dirt background as a crew chief, so you couldn't ask for a better crew chief driver combination. If you're a guy that doesn't have dirt experience, be with a dirt crew chief.
Absolutely. Now here's 13th on back. This is the Hornet's Nest. Joey Logano, who spun to bring out the first caution, has fought his way back, looking back from his Ford Performance Cam, and his heart rate's up to 150 down there in the lower left of the screen.
He's done a fantastic job of bouncing back, capitalizing on that experience he learned in the truck race last night. Didn't really learn much passing. He dominated the race and led the whole thing.
Yeah, led all but 12 laps last night.
He's getting his passing lessons in right now. Yeah. He's passed a lot of race cars since that caution.
Cindric's car going the other way as Noah Gregson passes him on the outside. Ricky Stenhouse on the inside. All right, pits are closed with 2 laps to go in stage 1.
Those reg winches are going to be extremely busy at this stage break. I'm too tight. I'm too loose. We're going to be all over the place.
Oh, contact. Turn 4.
Big wreck.
And Denny Hamlin got the worst of it, along with Josh Berry. So this will end the stage.
I don't think any of them got too much damage there, Tony. Man, when I looked up, I heard you say that, looked up, there was cars all over the place. Everybody did a great job of avoiding massive contact. A little bit of damage on the front of 11, Denny Hamlin. Quite a bit there on the right side.
Kyle Larson gets his second stage win of the season and his second on Bristol dirt as this pileup happens in turn 4. Here's our Credit One Bank ones to watch. Who you got your eye on?
Man, I am on board with this 41 car. Ryan Preece, he has impressed me, caught my eye very fast. I think he's definitely one to watch.
Yeah, but I still think you got to watch this 5-car Kyle Larson. Even if it's not perfect, Kyle knows how to drive around the condition of the car and make it do what he needs to do.
Well, he's kind of hard to watch because he's out of the screen so far. He's ahead.
Well, you won't let me pick 2. I was going to take Richard Childress Racing, but let's concentrate on Austin Dillon. He and his brother Ty both started racing late models on dirt, and they were really good at it. Haven't had a chance to do that much in the Cup Series, except at Bristol one time a year. Won his heat race. He's been up front all night so far. Where are the rest of the dirt track specialists?
You took the words right out of my mouth, Mike. You know, Christopher Bell, heard him really complaining about his race car, very tight condition. Chase Briscoe, guy was in the picture, literally going for the win on the last lap, struggling a little bit. These boys are going to need some big adjustments, Tony.
Well, I think the second stage is really going to tell us what we need to know. Which crews can make the big adjustments to get their driver the balance they're looking for. I think if you see a guy that gets his car fixed in this second stage, he's going to be hard to deal with in the final round.
Yeah, it's all about waking that baby up. Tyler Reddick, we haven't talked about him either. By the way, the one that Briscoe wiped out for the win, it was Tyler Reddick. So lots going to happen here at stage in.
All right, non-competitive pit stops on the dirt track here. They will leave the pit in the same order in which they came in. Let's go to pit road.
Well, Mike, the 41 car, Ryan Preece, you see him right there in front of you. Been doing such a great job all night long. His race car just a little bit loose on the entry. It causes tight middle for him right now. He is mentioning the bumps that you guys have been talking about over there, struggling to get across those bumps. In the 5 of Kyle Larson, he has been very good in the car. From the start of the race, he said he felt like he had more grip than yesterday. He has not changed his tone since then. The main thing they have been doing is watching the cars behind them, trying to compare where the lines are going, where maybe he's gaining or losing time, just working through that so that they can stay ahead of what's going to happen later on here. Jamie?
And Kyle Busch, nice battle with his teammate Austin Dillon. You see him right there pitted side by side as the mechanics go over the wall. Remember, pit crews are at home. Kyle Busch, though, he was moving around trying to find more grip. He was leaning up on that cushion and it just wasn't biting. So they're going to tighten him up, help him with that forward drive. Same with Austin Dillon in the 3. Didn't have a whole lot of complaints. They're going to tighten him up a bit, but best qualifying effort he's had all year. Started on the front row and he's kept it there in the top 4. So they'll get a drink, they'll tighten him up, and they'll get going again. Let's go over to the other side and Josh Sims.
Yeah, just an update on Tyler Reddick. He's one of the drivers that elected to stay out. Now, we talked in the beginning of the race, he felt tight. He said he kept getting tighter and tighter as the race went on. But his last update was saying that car is really starting to come to him. So they asked him if he wanted to come in or stay out, and they let the decision go to Tyler Reddick. And he said, I value track position. I'm happy where the car is right now, so I'm going to stay out, guys.
He's one of those 4 drivers Josh mentioned who chose to stay out and not pit. Reddick was 8th, Wallace was 12th, Truex was 18th, and Ty Dillon was 24th. They will restart 1 through 4 when we come back to tonight's Food City Dirt Race. A lot of families on hand for the day and in the stands tonight. All showing their colors. The teams have 6 minutes to complete repairs as the sun sets here in Bristol, and they will roll out in the same position in which they were running when they came to pit road. 1 minute left to complete repairs. Alan Reinhardt, NHRA announcer, is our guest this weekend here at Bristol. Reminds us that next week, Tony Stewart will be among those going 4 wide for the NHRA at Las Vegas.
I'm excited about it. I've seen the 4 wide. Now I get to participate in my first 4 wide. So the drivers talk about how crazy and hectic it is. And here's the drag strip at Bristol Motor Speedway, Thunder Valley, and it is loud. Just 2 cars here at this racetrack is super loud with those hills on the side.
Yep, the NHRA will be here June 9th through 11th in Thunder Valley, and on the 4 wide at Charlotte ZMAX Dragway, April 28th to 30th.
There you see they had to cut most of the front end off of Denny Hamlin's car.
All right, so 4 drivers stayed out, as we mentioned, going to break. The rest of them will line up behind Ty Dillon, and that will be your Ram pit road running order. on the left side of your screen as they roll into position. Jamie?
Well, Mike, tires look a lot different for the dirt race. These just came off of Austin Dillon's car, 75 laps. They look brand new. Clint, Tony, I know you guys always like to see what they look like when they come off, but man, they look like they could put them right back on if needed later.
Boy, they sure do, Jamie. I think you're spot on. They maybe still look like they've just cleaned them up and rode one again, huh?
Yeah, and that's the thing about this dirt on this racetrack. It's very, very pure clay, and it's not very abrasive at all, so it doesn't tear the tires up very much.
Regan?
Yeah, Mike, a little question here for Tony and Clint. Guys, I'm not a dirt racing guy, so I don't know a lot about what's going on with these tires, but this is the right rear off of Kyle Larson's car. Take a look at the edge of the right rear right here, starting to chunk away just a little bit. Is that something they need to be concerned about or not?
It's really not. I mean, some of that is because I'm sure Larson was a little freer than he wanted to be, or loose at the start of the race than what he anticipated. But that's just where you're sliding the car laterally to the right. So as the track slows down and slicks off a little more, he'll run that car straighter, and that should clean up.
Josh Berry will restart at the tail end. His team was still working on the car when the 6-minute clock expired. In fact, he is still on pit road. The surprise of the night, former asphalt modified champ Ryan Preece. We listened in.
I mean, the cushion's pushed up so high down here, and like I said, if there's anything there, it's going to be pretty short-lived. You know, much like when you watch sprint cars or even super late models on dirt, there's a cushion, there's nothing, it's just marbles, right? So you don't have that right rear to lean on to make grip.
This Saturday, Real Football for Real Fans comes back. It's the 2023 USFL season opening kickoff weekend to start the new season. Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on Fox. Stage 1 complete here in Bristol, 75 laps, another 75 for Stage 2. And then 100 laps, Stage 3 to finish it off. Kyle Larson wired Stage 1. Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch, teammates this year at Richard Childress Racing, in hot pursuit. Then Ryan Preece, Ryan Blaney. They'll be the top 5, or rather not the top 5. They'll be 5 through 9 as we go back to green, because up front are the drivers who stayed out after pitting, after the end of Stage 1. Larry.
Yeah, let's talk about Kyle Larson and dirt racing as an eBay guaranteed fit. Kyle is a 2-time winner of the Chili Bowl Nationals, the 2021 Knoxville Nationals champ, and he actually won the Truck Series dirt race at 2016 at Eldora. He just won a dirt race the other night at the local Bulls Gap track. This all sounds like an eBay perfect guaranteed fit for Kyle Larson racing on the dirt.
He is a dirt track specialist and came in here. I wouldn't say he was the prohibitive favorite coming in, but I did see one person on our Fox staff set his wallet on the table and said, put it on the 5. No, we didn't.
Pretty good
We're not
bet.
allowed. So here's Thursday night, what Larry was talking about. Larson in the 6, Davenport in the 49. Jonathan Davenport, Superman, and you'll see why as they trade the lead back and forth.
Well, he got his cape trimmed a little bit with Larson showing up, and the spoilers hanging off of it. Slide Job City back and forth. These two battled it out, put on a show for that crowd Thursday night. But Kyle somehow, some way, was able to come home with a victory. Even had a flat tire. Kyle Busch, he was lapping Busch on the last lap, came up, clipped him in the left rear, had a flat tire, wouldn't have made it another lap. That was an impressive showing for Kyle Larson.
And here they are tonight. Larson, who won the first stage. Now, he has scored his first because that's how the stage ended. He will fire off 5th, or he'll be 5th at the choose because of the 4 drivers who did not pit, and Jonathan Davenport currently 23rd.
I've got a new ones to watch. We talked about Reddick earlier not really being a part of that equation, stayed out. That strategy that Larry talked about, all 3 of those would probably take place. Well, they have. This Tyler Reddick might see a new race car with his clean air and being up front, leading the pace.
Both the 2311 Toyotas stayed out. There's Bubba Wallace right behind his teammate. Wallace, who brought out the caution at lap 13.
Wallace had great pace last night, though. Bubba won his heat race. This might be exactly what the doctor ordered for him. Get a little track position.
All right, the Geico restart zone. Lines are painted on the outside wall for the drivers to follow. And the control car can fire off anytime in that zone. And that is Reddick, and here we go.
Kyle wastes no time getting to the top there.
And Larson trying to move up. Logano in the wall back there lost a ton of positions. Larson did too. Didn't necessarily get a good jump. Got mired behind Truex on that restart.
Logano didn't get out of the cushion till turn 4. Fell all the way to the back of the pack. Here's the battle for the lead. 3 cars that stayed out at the end of stage 1. And Ty Dillon fourth with Larson. And Priest going after him.
Larson actually got in the back of Ty Dillon in front of him. Have to be careful getting up through this traffic. Keep them fenders on it. You know you have the fastest car. Take care of it.
We're seeing with these first 3 what we talked about at the beginning of the race. Low air pressures, cars don't drive as good. Those guys staying out, their tire pressures are up. The car's going to feel way better. Oh,
I think Priest
into the wall.
Yes, hooked Kyle Larson in the right rear, got moved up and slammed the wall pretty hard.
What about the difference in the fuel load between these first 4 and the rest of the field? Is that a factor?
It definitely is. I mean, the weight of the fuel is behind the rear tires, which gives it kind of a pendulum effect. So once you get that weight swinging, it's hard to get it to stop.
Here's the Larson Priest. Dust up on the front straightaway.
He hit pretty hard there, Tony. That right front and even the right rear with a
turn 4. Davenport goes around after contact. And that will be a caution. Flag, not yet. Now, caution. Lap 81.
Man, he rolled down the racetrack, almost caught Brad Keselowski.
Jonathan Davenport in the 13. Nope, he's around all by himself and avoids contact. He was running 24th. Larson and Priest.
Larson just comes off the corner, and he's probably hearing late in his ear that the 41's got to run on the outside, and just that contact in the left front.
So during caution, Ryan came up to have a word. First on the inside, then he goes to the outside and makes a gesture toward Kyle Larson. Tony, maybe you can interpret for us.
Oh yeah, he's telling him how much he likes his new haircut, and he's really appreciative that his mom brought over cookies yesterday.
That's what you got out of that.
All right, here's what was said on the 41 radio.
Yeah, I would make sure you return the favor, because he shouldn't make mistakes like that, so I doubt it was. It was not a mistake. Yeah, and his father just told me he was telling him.
And an attaboy to our associate director, who last night drove home after the truck race, drove to the hotel. This morning caught a ride to the track and got a phone call at noon. Would you please come back, Mr. Gross, and turn off your rental car? It's been running all night.
Oh, man. You just ran him over, Mike. Ran him over.
Sorry, Rich. Had to do it.
Guess he just wanted it to be warm when he got in it this morning.
Oh, it was.
Forgot to get in it.
The heater was running all night.
Yeah.
Here we go. 85 laps complete. 165 to go. Reddick and Truex. Wallace, then Larson. First of the cars that stopped after stage 1. Then the Dillon brothers, Ryan Priest, Christopher Bell, Busch, and Haley, the top 10.
Again, Kyle goes straight to the top there. Another guy we haven't talked about all night that's actually been doing a really good job, Michael McDowell in that 34 car. He's ran the bottom, he's ran the middle, he's ran the top. He's doing a great job.
Priest actually got Larson on that restart. Got back in the lead. I was worried that contact with the wall was going to hurt him, but his car is still in it. He's fast. Larson's struggling on that bottom. Oh,
spinner off turn 2. Around goes Michael McDowell and keeps going.
That was impressive. 360, Michael McDowell. Man, the old flag man hurt you there.
Yep, caution waved.
Keep your foot in it. Dance it all around.
Quick caution. Watch this. Watch 34 right side of your screen in yellow.
Just gets it sheared down a little bit too much, but stays in the gas right there. 360. I told you this guy was wheeling it tonight.
And look at everybody scrambling to get out from underneath of him and miss him. Fantastic job by all. That was awesome, Michael McDowell.
That is a missed opportunity and a great job by Ty Gibbs.
9 times out of 10, that's in your lap and day over for Gibbs.
That was the Monster Energy Cam for Ty Gibbs. Speaking of 9, that's where he has finished now 3 races in a row.
Definitely has
9th
things
place.
turned around. Getting that confidence, you can feel it, you can sense it, you can see it every single weekend. Ty Gibbs has got her going on.
Speaking of turnaround, Eric Jones, who had contact with Corey LaJoie early, has gotten the last 2 free passes in a row, and he'll now be back on the lead lap. Saturday on FS1, 2 National League powers hit the diamond. Christian Yelich and the Brewers face Manny Machado and the Padres. You'll catch the first pitch at 4 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Martin Truex in 3rd place. Remember, he won the truck race the first time we came here on dirt 2 years ago.
Launch on the bottom so bad. It's hard to get it to shift because you're spinning the tire. It'd be nice if we could get going.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If these clowns up the back stop run into each other, it'll be okay.
And we're going to see a lot of contact. Here you're looking at the racetrack right here. We're seeing where these pockets are starting to open up a little bit right here. And that's just soft spots that develop, and it happens to every dirt track. It's something they've worked really hard at. This track crew has done an amazing job with this racetrack. But this is character, and this is something that, like we mentioned, if the racetrack keeps continuing to get slicker and slicker, those holes, sometimes the drivers will aim for that. It actually will catch the right rear, gives you a little bit of grip, helps you get where you're going.
Look how deep that hole is, though. Those are frame marks where the frame's been digging in above that. You can see that's a better picture of it there. It shows you how deep that hole it really is.
Yeah, these little spots right here, that's where the chassis is dragging, like you mentioned there. And that just tells you how deep it is. Christopher Bell straddling it there.
And let's check with Jamie.
Well, we've talked about Joey Logano's issues tonight. He's back in 29th after the restart there. The top of the track had been watered down. He said it's like soup. He got into that and hit the wall, and he said he knocked the toe out just a little bit. So problems continuing for Joey Logano.
And during the break, we saw the water truck. We were watching from up here in the booth. The water truck did go out there and take the cushion, try to water. And the reason they do that, if you don't, in that race, as the race goes on, that dirt just continues to dry out. Then when those drivers do go to get in it later, it's too dry, it doesn't hold the car, and they blow through it and hit the wall. The hard part is when you water it, it's wet, it's greasy, it's not run in, and it also will do that too. So as this race goes on, the dirt and the drier dirt from the inside, the dust will go up there and it'll tighten that dirt up there. Those guys will be back up in it in no time and getting the drive off of it again.
So we'll come to the choose this time. As you see from our choose drone, something we've never said on television before, right?
It's pretty smart. I'll give him credit on this one. It's well played.
And again, both the 2311s take the outside, and it's a mixed bag from there on.
Larson had enough of being on that bottom. He was mired in traffic behind Truex, and you know, you heard Truex talking the struggles he was having. It was costing him. Now he's on the outside.
So here's one of Clint's stage 2 questions. Which of these drivers will have the better finish by the end of stage 2, and by how many positions? Bell and Briscoe right now are just 1 position apart.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm running out of money or something, Tony, because these questions keep getting harder and harder. That's a toss-up. I mean, both of those guys are plenty capable. Take your pick there.
Yeah, especially after you give them adjustments and time to work on their race cars. These guys will find their way back to the front.
All right, they waved off the restart this time. Well, the 4 drivers who stayed out at the end of stage 1 are holding their own. They will restart 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 6th. Reddick, Truex, Wallace, and Ty Dillon.
And I think I'm kind of surprised by that, and I'm curious what Larry thinks of this as well. You know, Tyler's car really didn't seem like it was handling that good the first stage. So I would have thought they would have taken that opportunity to come in at the end of stage 1, work on the car. If it's better at the end of stage 2, then stay out for that 3rd stage.
Well, totally agree with it. I thought he was going to have trouble in strategy. Old Larry helped us out.
Yeah, the box they are in, they're going to have to stop the end of this next stage. And if they stay up front, they're showing everybody else that staying out is not a bad thing, but you can't make this whole race without stopping at least for fuel.
Well, I think you have to look at the race tracker right up here in the corner. You see how many cautions there's been. All these guys are spinning on their own. That plays a big role in being able to do that.
Reddick, Truex. 2 Toyotas on the front row as we go back to green. 3 wide off 2. Wallace closes up that hole that Ty Dillon was aiming for. And Kyle Busch up top. Still, not again, just still.
Heavy traffic back here in the back. They're all about 3 wide. All over the place here. Larson all the way up to the outside.
Trouble back straightaway.
Suarez finally loses it. He tank swapped all the way down the back straightaway. Finally came around on him. See, he hooked somebody pretty hard with the left front. Still green.
And
still
Joey
green.
Logano with trouble.
Still green, guys.
Yep. No caution.
And that's going to be real costly for Joey with the problem that he's got right now.
Logano is going to limp to pit road as we stay green.
He's going to try to stay on the racetrack. Right front flat.
And goes a lap down.
He's going to go to more than 1.
2021 Bristol Dirt Race winner. He'll probably be 2 down before he gets to his pit.
Off for 4. Another spin by McDowell.
Another one.
He did it again. Well, my man's got that move down.
Still green as now a car in the wall in turn 2.
Think that's Gibbs.
Bounced off, kept going.
Still green. There is action all over the place, Tony.
That was Allmendinger.
We're done throwing cautions. I like it.
Put the yellow flag in the bag. It's done for the night, maybe. Well, we will at the end of stage 2.
Well, you want these drivers to get back in a rhythm. Every time you get a caution and they roll around there, they just get out of that rhythm, and it's best for them. You can't just sit there and not throw cautions all night, but those were instances where the drivers were able to get out of the way and didn't cause a problem, keep the green out.
It also gives the track time to clean off. And you know, when it cleans off, the grip comes back, gets the level of grip that these guys need to complete the laps. When they roll around there under caution, that's when that dust starts flying around everywhere. The marbles are out there, and it's really hard to get a hold
clear,
of.
no pressure. 3 back.
Heard Christopher Bell get out of the throttle there to have to turn underneath Chase Briscoe and then start back squeezing in.
Kyle Larson has dropped to 9th. There is Truex to 4th. Kyle Busch making the pass. You know, the first time Michael McDowell spun, I thought, hey, Danny Sullivan spun in the Indianapolis 500, spin to win. The second time he spun out, I don't know what to think. There's one in the back straightaway, and it's Ryan Preece. And that will be a caution.
Caution out. Get rolling here. Get rolling.
I think Larry's exactly right on his call. These guys are definitely, they saw what Reddick and these boys have stayed out in the stage. There's going to be some more doing it in the second stage.
Ryan Preece running 8th, goes for a twirl on the back straightaway. Racing from Bristol on Fox, presented by Coyote Tractors. Just add dirt. Boy, they added a lot of it to Bristol Motor Speedway here. For tonight's dirt race, here's your aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, powering every lap, every mile, and every victory on the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. On further review, it turns out Ryan Preece's spin was due to a broken right rear toe link, which may or may not have been bent when he and Kyle Larson got together early, but contact with Ty Dillon off turn number 2 is likely what caused that right there.
Yeah, that's 3 cars, bam, 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 into the wall. I think it was a combination of both, if you had to ask me. I don't think his car was exactly right after the contact with the wall with Larson, and that finished it off. Got her fixed back up, though, on the racetrack.
All right, the votes have been tallied. You only voted once, right? For our pods, big move of the race. How about we vote twice? For Michael McDowell, here is the first one up off the corner. Spinning around, grabbing a gear. Look at those tires spinning. He's rolling. Quick on the caution light.
You show me once.
But lesson learned, okay? He's going to spin it again. We're going to stay green and see if he can do it again. And yes, he did. That's your pod's big move of the race.
You show me once, I'm going to say maybe luck had something to do with it. You do it twice, I'm impressed. That was cool.
Well, and he upped the ante. He did it in the corner, which is even harder.
He is running 29th right now. No pit stops under these cautions because you're only allowed to change tires and add fuel at the stage breaks, unless, of course, a tire is flat, and then a NASCAR inspector must approve the change of just that tire.
Very surprised by Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, guys who were extremely fast. Even Kyle Busch struggling to find the front nearly as fast as what I envisioned them doing. I think they're going to have a decision on their hands at the end of this stage 2. You might see some of them staying out when they were really thinking and planning on pitting.
All right, we're about 5 laps from halfway in stage 2, and here we come to the choose drone. .2311 cars to the top. As usual, Kyle Busch to the inside. He has been the first guy to the cushion on every restart, and he's going to start inside. Let's see how that works out. Here's some audio from Ryan Preece and company.
You know what I'm sick of? Tell me. Excuses. From now on, it's game over. I agree. I like it. There's got to be a repercussion for things or people are going to continue to do it, right?
That's spotter Andy Houston and crew chief Chad Johnston.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it sounded a little agitated.
A little.
There's one thing that you hear that passion in Chad Johnston's voice. That was my second to last crew chief in the Cup Series, and Chad, I had a blast running with him, but he is passionate. He's fiery just like a driver, and if his driver's getting fired up, you can bet he's probably fired up too.
Joey Logano out of the race, winner here 2 years ago, but too much damage to continue. He's the only car out of the race. 2 laps down, Allmendinger and Preece. Corey LaJoie 3 laps down. Everybody else 33 cars on the lead lap.
I'm also going to say Ryan Preece is kicking himself a little bit. I know he got put in the wall. There's no question about that. But just to barely, a fender on him right there in that situation, halfway, not even halfway through the race there. He's also wishing that, he would have been a little bit more patient in that seat, and he'd still be a part of this conversation at the front of the pack.
All right, here we come to the Geico restart zone. 40 laps to go in stage 2. Good launch for Reddick.
Bubba's done a great job on these restarts as well. I mean, Reddick's getting the jump, but Bubba has been able to sit there and stay with him on each of these restarts, getting him right back to second.
He's struggling on that outside, though.
Dillon to the inside, bottom of the racetrack, challenging for third in the number 3. 4 wide. Blaney off the bottom. And moving up behind Truex.
Seems like the outside in 3 and 4, Tony's a lot better than 1 and 2. You really see, looking at the 8 of Kyle Busch, see him get to the back bumper of him, but, well, Bubba moves up. takes his line away, forces him to turn back underneath. Now we're 3 wide off of 4.
I think Bubba's just searching and trying to find something that's making his situation better, but he's got Truex on the inside. He's got Kyle on the outside. He's running out of options of where to go.
Ty Dillon in a wall off of 2.
He got it back under control, but he did ride the wall a ways and drop back out of the top 10.
Pretty easy to do. It looks like the track's really getting pushed up high from about the apex of the corner, the center of the corner to the exit. Very high, getting close to the wall. Saw that last night in the truck race as well.
Well, you must have woke that 5 car up, because here comes Kyle Larson.
Got him moving around. I've been watching him a little bit. It's interesting. Bubba's got to be careful. He's doing a lot of mirror driving here. I know you have to be defensive. Obviously, you're on a strategy call here, but be careful. Here's a slide job. Tony gave him some room.
Well, there wasn't a hole for him to get up all the way to the top, so he had to kind of check up on the throttle, let the right rear get caught up, and catch that car.
So Larry Mack, if you're Kyle Busch or Kyle Larson and you fought your way to the front through these cars that stayed out at the end of stage 1, those 2 drivers, the Kyles, stopped at stage 1. Do they stop at the end of this stage?
You know, when I look at the number of caution laps that we run, Mike, I think if you pitted at the end of stage 1 and you're up near the front like Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch, even throw in Austin Dillon and Ryan Blaney, absolutely, I am not coming back to pit road.
Bubba in the wall pretty hard. Couldn't get out of it off of 2. Lost a lot of track position.
Bubba Wallace falls out of the top 10 after that wall ride on the back straightaway.
Now Gregson's in the wall. Jumped the cushion there, and once he got up in that fluff, just couldn't get it turned left and stay on the wall.
Log jam here. Ricky Stenhouse, Justin Haley right in the middle of it.
Great thing is you can see how the drivers are able to use the entire surface. I mean, there's not a specific line that's better than the other right now. It's literally about just finding the spot that makes your car feel good.
The track really is awesome. Pass for 3rd. Larson still trying to get around Truex. This is 4 or 5 laps.
Here's Jamie.
And Joey Logano, the hits just kept on coming there, Joey. But what happened in that last incident that put you out for the night?
Yeah, it's an eventful race for the short amount of laps that we had to run. Got caught up, and it seemed like every wreck in front of me, I got in the middle of it, and then was going good, and I got too high one time. And then, I don't know, they wrecked in front of me the last time, and I hit him with the right front, broke the suspension, and then I clobbered the fence after that. So I think I had a pretty good Mustang that could probably run up there with them. I was able to drive through the field fairly quickly. Just to get caught up in the garbage or to get back there, it happens. And so my fault we're back there in the first place, and that's what happens.
Thanks, Joey. Mike?
So Logano, first car out of the race, finishes 37th.
Saw a big time slide job there by Larson. He'd had enough. It was time to go, though, because the 3 car, he jumped the cushion now into the wall. But he had to go, and he forced the issue there because the 3 was coming.
Christopher Bell in the 20 takes advantage.
I don't know if Larson and company made adjustments on that car, but it is not near as good as it was in that first stage.
Turn 2, spinners. And caution.
In fact, Brad Keselowski around.
Brad has had a rough night.
That's the 3rd time we've seen him have trouble, unfortunately.
He went a lap down early, got a free pass, got back on the lead lap, but he goes around and brings out his 2nd caution of the night at lap 126. Halfway in the Bristol Dirt Race. 21 to go in stage 2. Here's an update on the Coca-Cola Racing family. Austin Dillon 3rd. Denny Hamlin, Daniel Suarez slugging it out, and Joey Logano, who just told us he hit everything but the lottery tonight and is the first car out of the race. What a battle here that was going on just prior to this caution.
Cog out working the top really, really well there. Gets a run on Martin Truex. This is textbook slide job. Turns it underneath. He's basically cutting the corner off and then just drive it straight up the hill. Take the line away from Martin. That is as perfect as you could do that.
But then he hands it right back. He gets in the next corner. Awesome move, like you said. Get in this next corner, jumps the cushion, gets in the wall, hands it right back. That's what I love about dirt racing, though. That's what it's all about. I mean, we talked about it in the pre-race, minimizing mistakes. And if that boy can make a mistake, anybody can.
Anybody can.
Regan?
Well, Mike, one of my favorite parts about this dirt race, if you look on top of the haulers in the middle of the infield, the crew chiefs are all standing up there, but in about 20 laps, when the caution comes out for the stage break, you will see these haulers empty out. Everybody comes running down to their pit stalls. They want to get eyes on their cars as quick as they can. That's very different than what we see on a normal week at the racetrack.
Whole different procedure here with the non-competitive pit stops during the stage breaks. The only time you can add fuel or change tires. Dillon trying to keep Tyler Reddick up high on these restarts. Back to green.
Really stacking up. Wow, that was close. That bottom line stacked up bad all the way back through the field.
Ryan Preece got the free pass. He's now just 1 lap down. Bottom feeders, Dillon and Larson going after the lead.
Mike, you're got them elbows up.
Absolutely. Austin Dillon is strong tonight.
That's two corners in a row. He's bounced off of Larson. Interesting to see how that ends up.
Like last night where he ran the whole heat race right there, right in the middle of the racetrack. That's his groove.
Offside.
And I honestly think some of that aggression, I mean, we've got 17 laps to go in this stage, and there's a large likelihood that the 3, the 5, the 20, these guys are going to stay out. Austin wants
Spinner
that
in
lead.
2, and around goes Eric. Oh, gosh, Eric Jones. And we are still green.
Shoot, Boyer, I'm starting to think you could pull that maneuver off now.
Look at this race for the lead. Fantastic. Austin's really putting the pressure on them down below. Move back up, got in line.
Kyle Busch for the lead.
Here comes the slide job.
Bottom to top.
Well done.
Backward crossover with Reddick, though. Just like we saw in that dirt race Thursday night when we were watching. When they start doing this slide job and crossing back and forth, this is where it gets fun to watch. Oh, not clear. Now that's a slide job gone wrong. That won't make him happy.
Tyler Reddick got used up there, and here comes Austin Dillon on the bottom. Could not clear him. Kyle Larson closing from the top with Christopher Bell.
The whole reason that didn't go any worse than it did was, I'm sure Tyler Reddick still remembers the last corner of the last lap last year. He knows this is not the time for that incident to happen. Just give that spot up. He's good enough to get that lead back.
Kind of what I was talking about with Preece. He bailed out. He didn't stick in there. You didn't hold it, his own on that outside. If he did, they would have been in the wall for sure. Just like you were saying, a little bit of patience went a long ways there.
12 to go in stage 2. Kyle Busch in command.
This is one of those nights where when the track gets this slick, you've got to give each other just a little bit extra room than what you do on a weekly basis in these cars.
And Dillon is able to really rifle that thing down into 3 way hard.
Watching from our Coca-Cola Zero Sugar cam on board Dillon.
Watch how much deeper he can get into the corner than Reddick.
Well, in the radius that he's running, when he turns down in early like that, he's not having to turn as tight as Tyler Reddick is on the top. That's why Tyler has to slow his entry down a little bit, but he's able to get that big run on the top off the corner.
Can't really do it as much at 1 and 2 down here, but 3, I mean, it's 3 car lengths.
And everybody's driving around that hole in turn 3, right there between the 2 second and third place cars.
Busch slipped up.
Wow, Dillon led for about 100 feet, and then Reddick to the front. How about that?
If you don't like this kind of racing, you don't like racing.
Busch, the leader, bobbled. They pounced on it. Reddick to the point. Old tires, mind you. Oh! Teammates got into one another just like Larson and Preece. aggressive behind the wheel tonight. Definitely a different Austin Dillon that I've seen in weeks past.
Well, you see this in him when he gets some confidence. When he has a car that feels good to him, that's when you see this style of driving in Austin come out, where he can get up on the wheel and do his job.
Larson challenging Busch, takes third.
Found that line that Austin was running.
Busch back after him, going into 1.
Got into 3 really deep, really straight. Keeps the car underneath of him.
You look at that in-car, you look at his hands on the wheel. He's not death gripping that steering wheel at all. He's nice and relaxed in the car, not having to make big moves. He's got a nice balanced race car right now.
Larson got Busch, but Busch crosses him back over. Well, they almost got into one another. It was very close.
That's going to bring Christopher Bell into the picture for third here with 4 laps to go in the stage.
Bell was extremely tight in the first stage. I think they made some massive adjustments and may have got him too loose. His car looks extremely loose now. Might find a happy medium and get this car even better for this last stage.
Heart rate up to 165 on Christopher Bell, who was complaining after stage 1 his car was tight, tight, tight.
And I think a lot of these teams planned on starting the race tighter than what they were in the heat races last night. With all the moisture that was in the air, how wet the track was, makes a lot more grip, and you have to free the car up to get it to rotate. Where tonight, having a day where the track's got a lot slicker than it was last night, have to tighten this car up to keep the rear end underneath you.
2 to go, and here's the fight for the final stage point. Almirola right now has it. Ty Dillon, the 11th place car.
Talked to Eric this morning, had a different approach going into this. Said he said, man, I am just terrible. I am terrible at this dirt race. I'm going with a different approach. I'm going to run all the laps, stay out of trouble, and try to be there at the end. And it's paying off for him big.
Who's going to win this stage? Reddick off turn number 2. Dillon will have one more try on the inside. Here he comes.
Even stop. Still there.
Tyler Reddick, stage 2 winner. 1/10 of a second ahead of Austin Dillon.
But now he has to pit. This is going to be interesting.
Here's where Kyle Busch crosses under and takes the lead from Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, the record man's home, so you'll never get it on the radio.
But Kyle slipped up. Dillon got in there. Reddick took the lead back and wins the stage.
The simple music that we make. Oh, 'cause if it moves my soul.
And it has been crazy out there at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Shannon and Jamie here with you. I swear, if we had $1 for every time we heard the word spin, we'd be as rich as some of the kids that got the Easter eggs today.
We've had so many spins. We don't even throw cautions when they're spinning right now.
Just keep on going. All right, we're going to go to the highlights, show you how we got here so far. Early day for Joey Logano, but it started early. It was eventful.
Yeah, this is just one of the many wrecks that Joey Logano was in. You see with Bubba Wallace, William Byron right there. Denny Hamlin, another long night for him. He and Josh Berry make contact right at the end of stage 1. Kyle Larson was able to go on and win that stage.
Yeah, we've asked so many times when the dirt racers were going to show up, and they have absolutely showed up. This was cool. What? Not only did he do it once, he did it twice.
Yeah, Michael McDowell's putting on a show for all of us. To be able to do two 360s was one thing, but very little contact. And here we talked about Joey Logano having a long night. This actually ended his night. You see he got suspension damage to that car. Winning the truck race last night, but a frustrating night for Joey tonight. This, though, great battle towards the end of stage 2. We saw 4 or 5 guys going at it. It was so much fun. Reddick lost the lead, was able to get the lead back, and then is able to hold off Austin Dillon for the win in stage 2. And Shannon, what sticks out to me is we talked about where were the dirt guys, when are they going to shine? As the racetrack has changed, Tony and Clint have talked about this. We've seen this huge transformation in the track. Those dirt guys have come to the top.
We do. Top 6 of the guys are pretty much the ones who have experience on dirt, Mike. So as we get ready for stage 3, listen, I know Clint and Tony are wishing that they were in this race.
You're not kidding. They're steering from up here.
That's a fact. I'll be honest. First time in 6 years since I've been retired that I actually am like, man, I really wish I was out there tonight.
Looks like fun. Let's check with Josh.
Yeah, let's get an update of the 45 of Tyler Reddick, your stage 2 winner, involved in an absolute battle holding off Austin Dillon towards the end of that stage. He said the car right now just a little too tight, especially if he's trying to run the bottom, if he wants to be able to hold off those guys. So they said, we'll give you a little bit of adjustment to help you go for this win. Jamie?
And Austin Dillon, Tony Stewart was talking about it, an aggressive Austin Dillon tonight with a great car. His only main complaint in the second stage was that he's no good on restarts. Gave up a handful of positions, but car's good enough. He was able to bounce back. He also apologized to his teammate. Didn't mean to get into him earlier in this run. And Kyle Busch, his teammate in the 8th there, said he's just too loose. No rear grip at all, especially in 3 and 4. So they're going to try to tighten him up. A lot of tightening up happening down here still, Regan.
Well, Jamie, Kyle Larson, he came to the pits this time, and a very interesting conversation as he did. He came in and said, I really want to leave the tires on the car that are on it, so they are not going to change these tires. They're going to leave the older tires on it. This was purely a pit stop for fuel for them, basically, to make sure they can make it to the end of the race. And the 19 of Martin Truex Jr., his race car has been tight, trying to get through the bumps. That's his biggest complaint, as well as not being able to run the bottom because it's too loose, just trying to find that line that he wants to work a little bit better on as they go.
Thanks, Regan. All but 9 cars stopped here at the end of stage 2. That is we're wiping the windshield from the outside and the inside there with a little Swiffer there. That is the story from Ram Pit Road. Some sad news to pass along in the dirt track and sprint car world. Last night at Lawrenceburg, Indiana Speedway, the defending track champion Justin Owen was qualifying his USAC sprint car, which bicycled down the back straightaway, got into the wall, and then into a series of violent flips that he could not survive. The rest of the program was canceled. And our condolences to the friends. Sin has led 75 laps. Tyler Reddick 69. Kyle Busch has been out front for 6 laps. 5 lead changes, 32 cars on the lead lap, including the free pass car, which will be Ryan Preece. 9 caution flags and a whole bunch that weren't, for spinners and yeah, race on, But here we come to the final stage, and you got to have it right now.
You're right, and the only thing that I caught of all of Regan's stuff is the 5 car. Larson didn't take tires. They pitted and elected not to take the tires. I don't know about that call, Tony. There's something that he felt and he liked about, obviously, on that set, but boy, I've never heard that before.
Well, it's definitely not a tire wear issue for sure. I mean, as the track gets slick, it's not abrasive like we mentioned earlier, but there's something about this set that Kyle likes. And I agree with you. I don't know if it's just with stickers and the low air pressure, if he didn't like the soft feel of it and it got better as the time went on. But it's interesting, and we need to find out if he actually took fuel, because now adding the fuel back there with those tires, it may unbalance the car again. So it may have been fuel burn off, or it may have been air pressure buildup.
Well, without a doubt, it's a different strategy, and it's something we're going to have to pay attention to.
Well, if he liked those tires, is there a risk if you put new ones on that there'll be a different stagger, or just behave differently?
Like I said, keep an eye on that car. There's something different going on there. Keeping those tires on that car was definitely a different strategy than I've ever seen.
So Austin Dillon and Kyle Larson rack up the most stage points tonight. Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell also over 10 points tonight. Here's a look at what's coming up for NASCAR on Fox.
We're counting down the days until NASCAR hits the pavement at the Paperclip. Short track.
What the hell was that?
Shorter tempers.
Oh, he hit him!
And always one hell of a show. It's Martinsville, and you won't want to miss a second. Starting at 2 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
And joining us at Martinsville will be 2000 Series Cup champion Bobby Labonte and Tony Stewart. We'll be back in the booth for Talladega.
It's going to be fun having Bobby in the booth. Looking forward to that. Champion driver, always fun to hear his vantage point. It's going to be a fun one. Martinsville's fun. Favorite racetrack, right up the road from the house. Beautiful drive, especially this time of year. Cannot wait to get up there.
Got your last win there, right?
Yep. So, all right, let's set the stage. Reddick proved to us staying out was the name of the game in that last stage. Was able to not only hold on, he lost it and then passed Kyle Busch back for the win. Now Can Christopher Bell do the same thing?
Yeah, now Tyler Reddick will restart 10th. Christopher Bell was 4th. There's the Toyota cam on Bell's car. He will be the race leader. Chase Briscoe was 6th at the end of stage 2. He's now 2nd. Eric Almirola was 10th. He's now 3rd. Todd Gilliland was 14th. He's now 4th. William Byron was 15th. He's now 5th. Michael McDowell, twice through the spin cycle tonight already, was 18th. Denny Hamlin was 20th. Josh Berry 22nd. And Ross Chastain was 23rd. So they will all move up in the running order and start ahead of Tyler Reddick, the driver who was leading at the end of the stage. So with 5 of our dirt track experts up front, here are some of the drivers who came in tonight with very strong dirt racing backgrounds. In their younger days, Ricky Stenhouse, Alex Bowman, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell celebrating a win, as was a very young Chase Briscoe and an even younger Kyle Larson.
I like that for sale sign on the side of Briscoe's car. That's a good way to sell one.
Yep.
Park that baby in Victory Lane.
Well, they were selling it because they were buying a bigger race car.
Right. They're the lap leaders tonight. 100 laps to go.
Still a lot of racing left. Took the words right out of my mouth, Mike. I love that. Gonna have to be careful. If you're a Kyle Larson, Reddick, these guys that have to get up through the field, there's a lot of guys that haven't seen the front of this pack all night long. Now they're up front.
Quick word from Larry. Larry, do you like Kyle Larson keeping those same tires?
You know, Kyle Larson has forgot more about dirt racing than I'll ever learn the rest of my life. I can't for the life of me understand that. And to your point, maybe it's the air pressure. Maybe it's just the fact of stickers versus scuffs. But I'm totally confused over that one. But you know what? We'll know here over the next 100 laps.
Kyle asked his crew chief on the radio, can we keep these same tires? The answer was yes. Here we go, stage 3.
All clear. 2 wide behind you. 8 clear. Half back on the top.
Almirola trying to shoot the middle there. Now lines up behind Briscoe on the high side. Bell has checked out.
About Josh Berry holding his own. Middle of 3 wide.
Kyle Larson got a little nudge there from Kyle Busch.
Look at the battle back here. That's the track position battle for the guys on tires. Larson, Busch, Reddick, all trying to, and Austin Dillon, all trying to get in position of one another. You get around them, beat them through the pack. Name of the game.
There is no bad spot on this racetrack right now. It is literally find you a clean spot, aim for it.
Byron, Chastain, side by side for 7th.
Well, that's what's cool about dirt racing, and in particular on this racetrack. Depending on how your car's handling, you can move around and find a groove that actually better suits the handling of your car.
Historically, if your car's loose, you head to the top of the hill, get the right rear on the cushion, it holds the back of the car. If your car is tight, you kind of stay off of that, get all the way down to the bottom where it's a little harder to rotate, get the left front in the mud where it's soft and sticky, and let it pull you around.
Gets you working and thinking inside that race car.
We have that health cam for Chastain carrying the driver's eye.
And the dirt racers with the, oh, Larson around.
Wow.
Lock it down.
Caution.
Boy, you know where that takes
Wrap around here.
my thinking on this. Exactly what we were talking about. That was all by himself.
Guys, he's in a box. He can't change the tires. He's locked into what he's got. Remember, you can only change the tires at the end of the stage break.
Well, it's too late now anyway. It doesn't matter. Damage is done. You're not going to come from dead last and win this race.
The only way he'd get to change one now if it was flat down to the rim, and then you could only change the flat tire. Kyle Larson goes around. 10th caution flag of the night.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by Bell. Join the thousands who choose Pure Fiber Internet every week.
Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful princess with sleeping fingers. With her bad network, her fingers just slept and slept for so long. Until one day, she came upon a charming store. And she discovered that the best network is even better than a prince.
Oh, did you ask your doctor about Rybelsus? Actually, I'm seeing my doctor later today.
Did you say Rybelsus? I take Rybelsus. Did you know that it's a pill?
Rybelsus. Learn more at rybelsus.ca.
Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
It's time to print. Get an additional $20 when you purchase a $100 prepaid print card. Printing done right, every time. Can saving be easy?
Let's find out. How do we know you'll love pretzel crust pizza? Because this person is jonesing for us to bring back the pretzel crust pizza. Well, guess what? Pretzel crust is back! Or is it? Nah, seriously, it's back. Maybe. No, it's back. Delivery.
The all-new Infiniti QX60. Take on your wild world in style.
It's hard to get by.
Start your family fun at visitcalifornia.com.
Dang. Hello, handsome. Fresh off the catwalk. Is that a designer shirt?
This is the moment I say, yeah, it's designer. I got it at Winners.
Winners. Find fabulous for less.
Top featherweight contenders square off. Can Holloway return to form? Or will Allen continue his streak?
There is a victory! Unbelievable!
UFC Fight Night, Saturday on TSN.
Kyle Larson just pitted. All they did was check for fender clearance on the tires. He had plenty, so he will start last. Here is the choose drone as we get ready to restart. Let's have a look at tonight's right combination, sponsored by Subway. Larry?
Yeah, let's take a look at Christopher Bell and his crew chief Adam Stevens. This is their third season together. They have 4 wins, including 3 last year that sent them to the championship. 4 already this year, 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s. In fact, the last 3 wins for Joe Gibbs Racing came from this 20 team, and they've been the top finishing Joe Gibbs Racing finisher in 5 of 7 races. All these things could be the Subway right combination for Christopher Bell to get his first Bristol Dirt win and their first win of 2023.
I'm on board, Larry. I agree with you.
Bell got off to a great restart there to begin stage 3. But here is where it appears he is most at home. 3 Chili Bowl victories.
Donuts after he's won the race there. And listen, he gave Kyle Larson all he could handle there. Larson could not match the pace of Christopher in these races. I mean, Christopher is an unbelievable dirt driver.
There is the dirt on Christopher as we get ready to restart.
Yeah, he's kind of a man of few words and lets the results do the talking, and especially in a dirt car.
Kyle Larson will restart at the back. Christopher Bell will be up front with Todd Gilliland. Josh Briscoe, or rather Josh Berry, excuse me, Briscoe outside of him. Here we go.
Half back. Still clear. 3 wide behind you. Clear by 2.
I'm very impressed with Eric Almirola. Holding a pretty wheel. The car's keeping really straight around the corner. Rotates good for him. Makes good grip.
And although Eric doesn't have a driving background on dirt, his uncle does at East Bay Raceway in Tampa, Florida.
The car's just makes good drive up off the corner. He's holding it really straight in the corners and keeping the car underneath of him and finding speed all the same. Man, I think
Stuart
a
Haas.
huge turnaround for him.
Second and third with Chase Briscoe and Eric Almirola. The race is back at fourth place. Josh Berry with Ross Chastain. Michael McDowell is right in the middle of that. Gilliland and Dillon working his way back up through. Austin Dillon. Swanton Bees. Ross Chastain.
Yeah, that's quite a difference than we saw in Austin Dillon's in-car. How busy Ross is inside there right now.
There you got him.
Tyler Reddick on the bottom.
Austin's done a better job of getting up through the field than his teammate Kyle Busch and Reddick. He's aggressive, though. Boy, he's a leaning on him.
Clear bottom, 1 off entry.
The thing that I'm happy to see is one thing we all speculated on is that at the end of this race, and it still could do this, that it would end up one line on the bottom. This racetrack is super racy all the way across. Guys are able to run the very bottom, the very top, and everywhere in between.
Yeah, there's 4 distinct racing lanes through these corners, and they're all being used. Here's your Xfinity fastest laps tonight. Bell, Briscoe, Gilliland last time by. Austin Dillon has the fastest lap of the race.
Does not surprise me at all.
Denny. And around goes Denny.
360.
Get it rolling there.
Keep going.
Hold your line and get it rolling.
Still green.
Get it rolling. Still.
That was close. And we stay green. Hamlin falls to 34th with that spin. Shooting the middle, William Byron almost got squeezed between McDowell and Chastain.
You could throw a blanket over these 4 cars. What a wild battle this is. Chastain, Busch, Byron, McDowell on the bottom. Bouncing off of one another. Shooting the middle. Rim riding on the outside, right down on the bottom. They're all over this racetrack, Tony.
I'm telling you, Michael McDowell, I know we saw him spin twice earlier, but all night he has been in the hunt of this. He's doing a great job. He's made some great moves in traffic. He's running a tough spot on the racetrack. It looks like, I feel like the guys that are absolutely committed to the bottom right now, it's a little bit tough all the way down there. So if they get a little bit of room where they can open it up a little bit, move up just a little bit higher, I feel like that's a little better.
Chastain in 12th. Looking back at Reddick and Justin Haley on the inside. Tough night for the spotters. If we're having trouble seeing from the booth, how about them above us on the roof as things begin to dust up?
Yeah, it's definitely drying up, Mike, but I am very impressed with this track and the condition that it's in, holding up. It's cleaning up off from top to bottom. That's what you want in a good dirt race. You know, I've watched Eldora over the years, and when it's good for the truck races, for anybody, it's clean top to bottom, exactly what you're seeing.
Oh, crash, turn 1, and they crashed 4 times down the straightaway. Larson and Preece, and it's Larson in the wall.
Interesting.
Maybe a payback.
I hope not.
That'll be caution number 11 here at lap 176. And that started, Tony, back in the middle of 3 and 4 and ended up in turn 1. The 11th caution of the night, the 5 and the 41.
Supposed to go. Chevrolet Silverado factory lifted trucks. Where will they take you? The 2023 Silverado ZR2, LT Trail Boss, and Custom Trail Boss. Because adventure is everywhere.
Night descends, and I emerge to watch over the city. I have grown accustomed to the dark. No, I am the darkness. The night is my domain, and I... Oh, that's like a really good one. Hello, little kitty.
At Fountain Tire, we're on this road together. Doesn't matter what vehicle you drive or where you drive it. So whenever you hit the road, know we're on it with you.
Fountain Tire.
One more time.
We're on this road together.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Hey, Dad.
Yes, Board.
Can we talk about your financial plan to pay for my education?
Let's talk about something else. Like the night you were conceived.
I am loving the new place. Heard you got a good mortgage rate.
I have a rash on my body.
We have to talk about our retirement savings.
I'm convinced the earth is flat.
No. Don't be afraid of the money talk. We do this kind of thing all the time.
Our TD advisors are here to help you reach your financial goals. TD, ready to help you move forward.
Whether it's preparing for competition or manufacturing the finest automotive protection products, you can be sure to find the same dedication to innovation, precision, and performance that we deliver on the racetrack in everything we produce. For a perfect fit and the ultimate in protection, order online at weathertech.ca.
There have been 80 years of drafts.
I'm told the pick is in.
Thousands of names called.
Jerry Rice. Eli Manning. Sauce Gardner.
But there's nothing like hearing yours.
A spectacular moment for this young man.
The NFL Draft on TSN.
Kyle Larson's Hendrick Chevy is damaged too badly to continue from multiple contact with Ryan Preece, which began up in turns 3 and 4 and ended up in turn 1 in the wall. Jonathan Davenport also with heavy damage. I think a broken tie rod on the 13 under repair as we come to the choose.
1, 2, the first 3 cars stay to the outside. Todd Gilliland, the first one to the inside.
Boy, he's had an interesting night. There is Davenport, whose car has gone to the infield. Now here's a look at it. Larson on the outside here.
Yeah, I mean, you heard him say he was frustrated with the earlier contact, and it's time to do something about it. And looks to me like
here's what happened.
Yeah, this is earlier from the contact between Larson and Preece.
All right, here's the 41's radio.
Back there in traffic. Yeah, I tried to make time up top and it didn't work. Yeah, keep digging, guys. You're all laying down into the dirt trying to spin you. I would say that's purpose. They trying to spin you, wouldn't you? Absolutely. I mean, when it happened the other way around, we didn't do that. I mean, Denny Allen got a penalty for wrecking somebody on purpose, so no, he thinks he's better than everybody else. That everybody else should just pull over for him, evidently. And, yeah, I mean, it's eye for an eye, you know.
Well, that's the crew chief and the spotter. That's all conjecture. There's 2 fellas know what happened. There's one of them. The other's driving the 41.
And as slick as the straightaways have got, I'm not sure I 100% agree with that. If Kyle spun the tires and it got out a little bit, it would drive him to the inside.
Ready for the restart. 70 laps to go. A.J. Allmendinger got the free pass. He's now just 1 lap down. Bell and Gilliland in front of Briscoe and Dillon, Berry and Almirola, McDowell, Busch, Stenhouse, Byron the top 10.
Good jump by Todd Gilliland on that bottom. That's hard to do. It's going to get him second place too. Here comes Austin Dillon. He has definitely beat all those other guys through the field on these tires, taking an advantage of those fresh tires and these restarts.
Briscoe got a great launch off turn 4 on the high side, settles into second. The race is for third. Dillon and Gilliland with Almirola and Berry coming.
Dillon's ability to be able to drive way further into the corner, especially into 3 than everybody else, that's the reason he could drive in and pass these cars at will. Has a lot of grip, a lot of side bite when he gets into the corner.
Top 4 in this race right now have all won truck races on the dirt.
You see right there, drove it in really deep on the inside of Todd Gilliland. His car stuck. Gilliland slid up the racetrack.
The reason he's able to do that is the balance that he has. I mean, not only is the right rear stuck, but the right front stuck with it. So he can just roll in there nice and straight, keep it stuck, let it float when he needs to let it float.
So Gilliland in 4th. Here's Josh.
Yeah, going into this race, Todd Gilliland told me this is the most confident he's been going into a race all year long. Said, I'm not a dirt guy, but I feel really good here. Well, right now, not feeling as great. Said he's way too loose, especially in the middle. Said he's going to be hanging on for the rest of the race, Jamie.
Yeah, and how about Josh Berry in the 9 back there in 6th right now, battling for that spot. He's not a dirt guy either, and he's not even a cup guy, but he's adjusting nicely to both. Earlier this week, he went out with Dale Earnhardt Jr. to Volunteer Speedway not far from here. They brought a street stock and a late model, turned some laps, get him up to speed, ready for this race this week, and I think it's paying off. That and a little strategy call to keep him out there at the end of stage 2.
Berry in a solid 6th place.
That's something we've seen more and more of at winter down at Volusia Speedway Park. You saw a lot of these guys, Austin Haley, a lot of these drivers that were driving dirt modifieds, Matt Crafton. These guys are spending time. I mean, back in the day when they were running road courses and nobody really paid attention to them, then guys started focusing more on it. Same with the dirt races. These guys are putting the effort in, doing the homework to be better on dirt and know what to expect when they get here.
Stenhouse slipping around the inside.
Turn 2. Chastain. Well, still coming. Still green.
These 360s are becoming easier as it slicks off.
Selling by the half dozen here.
No contact.
Larry, Josh Berry, no stranger to these strategy calls.
No, I was going to say, Mike, remember finished 2nd at Richmond last week. Interim crew chief Tom Gray, 2 weeks in a row. I know we still have 60 laps to go, but 2 weeks in a row, interim crew chief Tom Gray making strategy calls. It's paid off.
Up front, Briscoe has closed the gap.
I've been watching the lap times. Briscoe ran a 50 to Bell 60 right there, putting some pressure on him.
Here's what happened to Ross Chastain. That's Kevin Harvick alongside.
He was trying to stay off of him on the inside, and once she's already loose, there's nothing you can do. You're along for the ride.
But we stay green with 59 laps to go.
When he's that tight on your door, you need the real estate to chase it up the racetrack, and it just wasn't there. Liking what I'm seeing up here at the front of the pack. It's got him moving. Briscoe put the pressure on Bell, moved it down, take his line away. A little bit of mirror driving here. Listen on spotter. Where's he running? Where's he beating me?
Regan?
Well, Mike, Kyle Larson checked and released from the infield care center. Kyle, we saw contact earlier in the race between you and Ryan Preece. Then we saw it again off of turn 2, continued down the straightaway. What caused it to continue down the straightaway?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing he was paying me back for whatever I did earlier and ran me straight in the fence, and my car was broke and ended up crashed. So, yeah, it sucks, but I should just be mad at myself for spinning out earlier and putting myself back there. So, just sucks.
Thanks, Kyle.
Kyle Larson, quite a favorite coming into the Bristol Dirt Race. He will finish 35th. Hard to watch that 9 car of Josh Berry without recalling 30 years ago we lost reigning Cup champion Alan Kulwicki on this race weekend, returning from a sponsor appearance in Knoxville in a white car with very much the same livery in a plane crash coming back to Bristol. He was one of a kind. The last true owner driver to become the Cup Series champion. Alan Kulwicki did it his way, and he is missed. Josh Berry doing a great job tonight in 7th place.
I will say this. I heard you say something there 30 years ago. That Hooters is still a part of this sport, still on the side of race cars 30 years later. It's pretty neat to see these partners finding a value in this sport.
Absolutely.
Truly making a difference.
Christopher Bell, his heart rate has not come down a bit, despite the fact that he's enjoyed a half-second or better lead over Chase Briscoe, Austin Dillon, and Todd Gilliland. We're going to take you Fox side by side here with 52 laps to go.
NASCAR on TSN is brought to you by Pinty's. Born in 1943 and in a changing time. Here today and with you tomorrow.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Subway's new chicken teriyaki crunch is way crunchier. What do you say, Mark?
Better than that. Listen. Subway!
Crunchier. Only at Subway. In-store or on the app.
Redfield, I need your assistance.
Coming, master!
I work for Dracula.
What?
Some call me the Lord of Death.
I tend to his needs.
He goes on a blood-sucking bender, then I clean up the mess.
You and I forever.
Bloody hell.
Renfield.
Are you happy or are you gonna kill me?
Only in theaters Friday.
GST, HST credit, I wasn't expecting a lot back, but when I did check my account randomly, and I seen it there, I was like, oh wow, it's a nice little surprise. Just getting that little extra, it means a lot.
Do your taxes to receive the benefits and credits you may qualify for.
Dyson's V15 vacuum solves pet hair problems, detangling hair and illuminating invisible debris with whole machine HEPA filtration. Only at Dyson.
Chevrolet Silverado factory lifted trucks. Where will they take you? The 2023 Silverado ZR2, LT Trail Boss, and Custom Trail Boss. Because adventure is everywhere.
Bigger, wilder.
Excited to get into this knife fight?
We brought it back with us. They always have to go bigger.
UFC Fight Night, Saturday on TSN.
This Saturday, Real Football for Real Fans is back. The USFL season opening kickoff weekend starts the new season on Fox Saturday, 4:30 Eastern Time. You saw Noah Gregson spin during our side-by-side coverage. That puts us in the 12th caution flag of the night. Gregson apparently broke a right rear toe link. And what about Christopher Bell?
Safe, safe, safe. Stay up.
Safe, safe, safe. When you get a second here, go ahead and flip to your other fuel pump so we don't have to worry about it in the closing lap. Copy that.
Larry, fuel's a concern?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it, did not pit, obviously, at the end of the last stage. So they're trying to go 175 laps right there. But the fuel window, that's what it is. But, Mike, all of these cautions, I can't imagine that's going to be an issue. But there has 2 lift pumps in the fuel cell. He's going ahead and having him swap over to the other one. Just don't have to do it and worry about it at the end of the race.
All right, what were they doing on Almirola's car?
Looks like they're replacing a toe link. So unfortunate. And he had a good night going. Maybe not.
Oh, he's still on the lead lap.
It looked to me like the right rear was definitely towed in a little bit. They don't cut those toe links off, do they, Larry? I mean, I know they're bolted on.
There's a bolt in each end. There's a bolt in each end. You just have to take 2 bolts out, replace the toe link, put the bolts and nuts back in.
Coming to the choose drone.
Briscoe taking the bottom.
So it'll be Bell and Dillon up on the top side. And look at this track surface, Larry, and let's have a look at how much it's changed through the night.
Well, that sounds like the drinking phrase, track change. I want you to look at the bottom shot here of what we're about to show you. This was roughly 10 to 15 laps after the green flag of this race. The top shot was about 50 laps ago, right about the end of stage 2. Tony and Clint, I don't know if I'd want to have to try to set a car up for both those conditions without a lot of adjustments.
And that's what makes dirt racing so special, because the track is constantly going to change, and it's hard for the crew chiefs and the drivers to predict where do I need to be the last 10, 15, 20 laps of this race. What line's going to be the best? So what setup do we put under the car to try to have the best shot in that groove? That's where these guys are constantly checking and moving around to try to find the moisture that Clint just showed at the very bottom and very top. So it gets really wide. But there's guys that their cars will roll right through the middle as well, right through the black. And it's not right or wrong. It's all literally about what that driver feels and what he's looking for the car to do that he needs it to do.
That's what I love the most about this track surface right here tonight. They've done a phenomenal job. I've said it, I've bragged upon them, and they deserve the credit, because that's what's creating this 3-4 wide action. They're all over the place on this racetrack. Cushion's alive. That Kyle Busch is wearing the right rear bumper off this thing, running that cushion. Or a guy like Reddick's holding his own right on the bottom.
Bell outside Briscoe on the front row. Dillon and Reddick, that caution may have benefited him. Gilliland and Busch, Barry Stenhouse. Here we go.
Barely. Clear.
Austin hit that bump and the car shot up. Really shot up the racetrack, bottomed out. Briscoe gets that position. There's Reddick down on that bottom like I was talking about.
Austin's been tiptoeing with that line. He's been straddling. There's a little bit of a bump on the very bottom on the entry to 3, and then one right in the middle. Austin had been shooting right in between those and then floating up the racetrack. Just didn't have that option last time.
Todd Gilliland got a little piece of Austin Dillon there. Not enough to upset him, but enough to let the first 2 scoot away, and we got a fight for the lead. Briscoe was inside of Bell, who had the better run down the straightaway.
Huge slide job by Austin. It's giving him some room, though. That was a lot of respect.
Reddick right back for 3rd.
He could have slid up in front of him and didn't take that.
And that was 4 wide for 6th. Blaney coming out with it.
Close quarters on a tri-slick racetrack right now. It's awesome. Awesome to watch the car control from these guys.
Stenhouse inside of Blaney, trying to take 6th away. As Josh Berry, Kyle Busch trade a little wrap. You don't trade paint anymore, do you?
No, not
trade
really.
wrap. That doesn't sound right.
Reddick really rode the wall right there. Made a lot of speed in 1 and 2. Caught those 2 leaders, running them down. This 45's coming on those tires. All the way up against the wall.
right side all the way up against the dark brown, both ends. Just a 48 down there, 1 off 19.
With your spotter explaining where the other leaders are running. Hey, 69 players still have a chance for Clint's $10,000 of cash. I think that's a record for this year.
It sure is. This question is especially as wild as this race has been. It's been all over the place. Bell's car is not a good long run car. I'll tell you whose is, Briscoe. Starting to really put the pressure on him. There it comes. A move down. Didn't slide up too hard on him. Gonna try to run this bottom. I think Briscoe's car is making a lot more grip than Bell.
Briscoe mirrors the leader off turn number 4. See if he takes another shot at the inside down here in 1. Nope, stays up top. And Reddick is getting ever closer. Chase Briscoe's going to make his move. It better be soon, or this will be a threesome.
Setting up to be an exact ending in the hands of Chase Briscoe, just like we had a year ago. And see how loose Bell is? He's having to really throw the car there, and then it kind of tails on the exit. And that's where I see him looking in the mirror, trying to figure out where those guys are at, what kind of run they have coming.
Christopher's car is definitely looser than Chase and Tyler Reddick's cars for sure. The only thing he can do is stick that right rear up in the moisture up the top, hope it'll hold him, but that's his saving grace. I mean, it'd be hard for him to run anywhere else right now, I feel like.
He's holding Briscoe up. Briscoe better go, and it's exactly what I was going to say. If he doesn't make a move soon, Reddick's going to. He has caught them. It's going to force them to make a move on him. I think you're going to see it pretty soon out of Briscoe.
And Bell is working that thing hard. 170 heartbeats a minute. That is max for many people.
I don't think that's because of the workload. I think that's because of what he sees in that mirror.
Absolutely.
Nervous. He got loose, really tailing out. The car's hanging on him. That's slow. Briscoe just can't find the grip to capitalize down there on the bottom. If they ever get around him, they're going to check out. Oh, Briscoe got tight.
Briscoe got up the cushion, and Bell scoots away, and Reddick tries to take advantage.
That actually came from a bobble on Bell's behalf. Bell bobbled, forced Briscoe to check up for him. Almost let Reddick get around him.
And that's the thing about running that right rear in the cushion like that. A lot of times, if you don't have the wheels spinning a little bit, it'll grab it and pull the right front around. So you have to really modulate the throttle up there.
28 laps to go.
And he found his groove there. It's getting away from him a little bit. Comes a slide job by Reddick. Had enough. I got to go.
Oh! Almost contact, and up over the cushion went Briscoe, and back to third he went.
Now, I'm not going to put that on Reddick. I don't think Reddick actually necessarily put him on the wall. I think Briscoe tried to throttle up and get it back in position on him, try to get in between him, stay on his outside, and got in the fence.
Absolutely. I agree with that. They both of those guys, Reddick and Briscoe, know they're faster than Christopher right now. And it's whoever can get there first, I feel like, has got the best shot to finish it off.
And around goes J.J. Yaley.
Off the racetrack quite a bit. Yep. Still green.
He spun down to the entrance of the backstretch pits, and we continue under green.
Bell has really found his groove running this outside right up against the wall. Oh, Briscoe's in the wall again.
Yeah, Austin Dillon got by him, and so did Ryan Blaney.
This baby is right up against the wall. Reddick almost in the wall down in 1 and 2.
Now Reddick has the newest tires of the leaders. He came in at the end of stage 2, whereas Bell and Briscoe did not. Austin Dillon also stopped, and he is now up for third place. So with 24 laps to go, we're going to take you Fox side by side one last time under green flag racing tonight. Christopher Bell out front.
SportsGrid.ca, the official online store of the NBA, and Canada's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear, jerseys, and collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.ca, a Fanatics experience.
Wake up to a fresh deal at Wendy's. Get a breakfast croissant with a freshly cracked Canadian egg, applewood smoked bacon, or sausage, plus crispy seasoned potatoes. All for one fresh price. At Wendy's, we keep it fresh.
WA knows a shortcut. WA is charged up. And WA brings street smart tech along for the ride. Nobody does WA like we do, because at Hyundai, WA is all we do. We make WA.
Hey, Dad.
Yes, Board.
Can we talk about your financial plan to pay for my education?
Let's talk about something else. Like the night you were conceived.
I am loving the new place. Heard you got a good mortgage rate.
I have a rash on my body.
We have to talk about our retirement savings.
I'm convinced the earth is flat.
No. Don't be afraid of the money talk. We do this kind of thing all the time.
Our TD advisors are here to help you reach your financial goals. TD, ready to help you move forward.
All right, Spanky, fire it up. Let's get the year started.
Drivers, start your engine!
Green.
Slow contact with the race leader.
The intensity has picked up a whole nother level.
He's on the bumper.
5 wide out of turn number 4. You can see the level of aggression starting to ramp up. Look at these battles amongst the leaders. Holy moly! Well, folks, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go.
Bigger, wilder.
Excited to get into this knife fight?
We brought it back quicker. They always have to go bigger.
$15 laps to go. Kyle Busch spins at turn 4. He was being told to pick up the pace. He comes to pit road.
I don't understand
Something
that.
wrong with the 8 car.
Spun right down on the pit road.
And that will be caution flag number 13 for Kyle Busch. This track has become not wide enough for Christopher Bell or Chase Briscoe. They are way up to the cushion and to the wall, especially Bell in turn 1.
Bell's had the right rear end of the wall a couple times. It just keeps getting higher and higher and higher. They're out of real estate. You see that right rear corner getting a workout.
And that's the problem. As the cushion keeps moving up, eventually you run out of real estate. So you're essentially threading a needle at that point. I mean, your room for error just keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Also, while we were in break, Corey LaJoie spun in turn number 4, spun and kept going. No caution there. Kyle Busch ended up bringing out the 13th caution of the evening.
Wow, it didn't even have a chance to get stuck.
That's the third or fourth time I've seen him do that. Seems like his car's a little bit loose, and he's making sure that he backs into that cushion, probably a little bit of wheel spin to make sure it comes out of it, doing a good job of making sure that the right front doesn't hook and get in the wall.
And right before he hit the wall there, you heard him get back in the gas, and he's not trying to make the car go forward. He's just trying to make sure that it doesn't grab and swing the right front. That's a way harder hit than that right rear corner is.
That is really old school. That's a Darlington stripe right there.
Yes.
But to Tony's point, it's so important when you do that to make sure you keep those tires spinning to where you can stay off of it. If that baby hooks and throws the right front into it, that's when you're in big trouble.
Yes.
Let's watch the Cheddars onboard and see what happened here to Kyle Busch.
Yeah, that one was no different than any of the other ones we've seen. Just kind of a spun right down on to pit road.
29 cars still on the lead lap with 13 to go. Jamie?
Yes, and all kinds of issues for Kyle Busch. He spent most of the night in the top 10, and all of a sudden he just started dropping. He just had his hands full, but they just diagnosed it. They said the right front shock is broken and something else is broken in the right rear for Kyle Busch.
Well, neither of the two previous Bristol Dirt Race winners in the Cup Series will go to victory lane tonight. Joey Logano, first car out of the race. Kyle Busch with problems now on pit road with just 12 to go.
Been watching Blaney too. He is he's there for the taking. These two get to battling, beating on one another. Maybe he can slide in there and get a win, capitalize on those two battling. And he's running a little bit different line in doing so. He's not necessarily running right up against the wall. He is one of the cars that I've seen that can still make some hay in the middle of the corner.
Getting late in Bristol, just 12 laps to go. There's your aerial coverage. You can see the line around this racetrack and look at how it widens out in the turns from our Goodyear aerial coverage, powering every mile and every moment on NASCAR's road to victory. Goodyear, more driven. The two front runners have each been in position to win it on the dirt here in Bristol 2 years ago. Christopher Bell spinning while in contention and out of the race. And then last year, Chase Briscoe and Tyler Reddick.
Last ditch effort, last corner, going for the win. That was wild.
It'll be interesting when we come back around here to see what line Tyler Reddick chooses at the choose drone. Whether he takes that outside or whether he tries to give himself a shot on the inside this time.
What would you do if you're Reddick?
I think you got to at least give yourself a shot. I mean, try the inside. If Christopher goes up there and hits the wall again and has to check up, you might clear him off of turn two. So I think you at least got to give yourself the opportunity, but it stays in line here. Ryan Blaney is going, thank you. He wants that inside line.
And I think he's kind of privy to that inside line. That's where he's been running and happy and making grip, finding grip with his car. And have to get a good jump, maybe roll to him a little bit. Very important to get a good jump with him, not let that outside line freight train you.
And we don't talk about Ryan Blaney as a dirt driver, but his family is rich in history in dirt racing. His grandfather, Lou Blaney, sprint car and modified champion. His father, Dave Blaney, World of Outlaw champion. His brother, Dale Blaney, All-Star Circuit of Champions, multi-time champion. So he's got a family that knows exactly how to get around dirt races. And I saw when we were doing the pre-race show on pit road, saw Dave Blaney go by. I'm like, you can guarantee that Dave's given him input all night.
And Ryan Blaney could use a little luck.
Yes.
Might be able to make some right here. Those guys have to chase that cushion. It's way up there in this first corner. I think it's important. I don't think they go straight to the cushion right off the bat, Tony. Might have to stay down the middle of the racetrack and guard this a little bit.
It's very smart, actually. I think you're right. It's you prefer to just be running the laps that you were running, but to go in on that entry and as tight as the entry is, if you can cut that off like we saw Larson do with that slide job earlier in the race, Christopher may not want to leave that door open, and I think that's smart. If it can go either way. I mean, if he's really as loose as we are speculating he is, that's going to make it really tough to run through the center like that.
We're going to have 8 laps to go when they take the green. 2 Toyotas on the outside of the first 2 rows, 2 Fords on the inside, Blaney and Briscoe. The first Chevy is Austin Dillon in 5th, then Stenhouse in 7th. Pace truck is in. It'll be 8 laps to the finish.
Then he got a huge shot in the back by Briscoe, but it's actually exactly what the doctor ordered. Well, it was.
Oh, no. Around goes Blaney.
And he got wrecked.
Still rolling. Still green. And Blaney goes from the front row to the back as Bell scoots away from Tyler Reddick.
All right, Reddick right to the point. Right up high. Going to see Christopher Bell move up.
Morgan Bell pacing.
Morgan's father and uncle wing sprint car guys as well. So a lot of depth on the dirt side.
Ricky Stenhouse to third. Underneath Austin Dillon.
And Ricky, I would have put my entire wallet that he was going to be up on the wall all night. He has been married to the bottom and making it work.
I see you. Top clear by 2. Clear off.
Stick with what works. And I think, again, we were going back to that what we were talking about, Tony. I think the way your car handles dictates where you're going to be running on this racetrack. We all know Ricky Stenhouse wants to be up there on that cushion ripping. Well, he's making a lot of hay on the bottom.
The race is for third. Stenhouse third, Dillon fourth. Briscoe just took fifth from Gilliland. And Halen. Truex is in that mix as well. Reddick is mirroring Bell's lap times.
Yeah, he just got a wall a little bit. Got a wall in the middle of 3 and 4. Not hard enough to harm anything yet. Man, it's way up there.
Coming to 2 to go. Christopher Bell is going to lead his 98th lap of the race this time. And now Reddick draws a little bit closer.
Takes so much discipline. Stay on that cushion and stay out of that mirror.
Dillon for third against Stenhouse. And 3 wide behind them for 5th place.
Reddick had a good corner in 1 and 2 there.
Listen, Christopher's not leaving that top right now. There's no use for him to look in the mirror. The best thing he can do is focus straight ahead.
White flag.
Credit one bank. Crash on the back stretch. One car stopped against the inside wall.
Still going, still green.
And he's rolling. We're still green.
Oh, he's in the fence. Try to stay on the outside. Caution's out.
Caution's out. Caution's out. Stay low. Stay low.
Christopher Bell.
Race is over.
Comes to the flag. And checkers wave over the Joe Gibbs number 20.
You won. Hell
Bell,
yeah, buddy. Good job.
Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota are going to victory lane. Finally, a dirt track driver wins the dirt race at Bristol.
Finally, we talked to him in the pre-race and he answered that. He said the reason is we keep wrecking each other. Well, he fixed that problem, got his big win. Man, that was shaping up to be wild. Reddick was right on him. That was the right call. Had to throw the caution, had a car right in the groove. But you got to give it to Christopher Bell. You knew one of these guys was going to eventually win this race, and it was a good chance it would be this kid.
5th career win for Bell, who last won at Martinsville last fall. He becomes the 7th driver to go to victory lane this season. And since the start of 2021, he is the winningest Joe Gibbs Racing driver.
I knew it was going to be a matter of time before Christopher Bell found victory lane. He's been very solid. The Gibbs bunch's been kind of quiet, but over the last year, even 2 years, he's been the one that's slowly rising to the top of the Gibbs camp.
I remember when Kyle Larson started in the Cup Series, and I was sitting in the motorhome. We were both watching a Western States midget race, and he goes, "This kid is better than me." I said, "Who is it?" He goes, "Christopher Bell."
See what he's doing? Polish victory lap.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Something Alan Kowicki did for his first win and did when he won the Cup Championship. Because he said, I wanted to do something people would remember long after I'm gone. They do, and drivers do. Left side window to the fans, saluting them on the way to victory. Class.
Yes, it is, and that's a great way to honor Alan. I mean, it's like you said, it's not just today because of the 30th year. That's what drivers have been doing ever since then.
Hey, I want to take care of some business real quick. Hats off to Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 4th place. How about Justin Haley, 6th place for him. Truex, that is a big turnaround for him in 7th. Gilliland, Todd Gilliland, 8th. That boy has been doing a good job behind the wheel. And then Harvick, he was down and out all day long. Average position of 24th and finishes in the top 10. The closer has done it again. McDowell did 2 360s in this race, never hit anybody, ended up with a top 10. And again, that Gibbs guy has another good run. Solid run for Ty Gibbs. Great job.
Rookie Ty Gibbs. 9th, 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 and 11th. That's a pretty good 4 weeks. Christopher Bell led 100 of the 250 laps tonight, including the last one. All right, let's join Regan Smith.
Well, Christopher Bell had to drive 100 perfect laps at the end of that race. You had restarts, you had challenges from Chase Briscoe, from Tyler Reddick. You held them all off. How does this one feel on Easter?
Man, let me tell you, those are some of the longest laps of my entire life. You know, this place is so much fun, whether it's dirt or concrete. And whenever the cushion got up there on the top, it was very tough because you couldn't drive it super hard. Otherwise, you get sucked in. And if you got your right front into it, you push a little bit. If you got your right rear into it, you'd slide. So it was a lot of fun. But, man, I'm just so grateful to be here driving this number 20 for DeWalt, Joe Gibbs Racing. And that was a lot of fun.
You talk about the cushion going to the top. We saw you hitting the right rear a number of times. Was there any moment there where you thought, oh, this is going to be the one that gets me into it?
Yeah, so 3 and 4, that was the scary corner for me because if you got into it too far, you lost all your momentum. And 1 and 2, I think I kept hitting the wall a couple of times, but it seemed like there was a little bit more moisture up there and it would hold me better. So I'm like, okay, I can really attack 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 is the end. I got to be careful. And man, I just can't get over how long those laps feel. You know, it's a 20-second lap and you're moving the wheel 18 times a corner. So it feels like it takes a long time to get around there.
Christopher Bell, your winner on Easter Sunday in Bristol.
And Tyler Reddick, different team, but same result at Bristol Dirt. It was compelling to watch those closing laps, but what was that battle like with Christopher Bell?
It was a lot of fun, honestly. Really intense. Yeah, towards the end there, definitely feel like I found a little bit more. I thought I was at the edge, but I wasn't quite there in the last couple laps. Definitely found it. Just hate it for everybody on the SiriusXM Toyota Camry TRD. Just needed to be a little bit closer than I was. I think with 2 to go, it would have been really bold to try and make that move work. Obviously, on the white flag coming into 3 and 4, I was going to see. But, yeah, we'll never know if it worked. But still a good rebound for us. We definitely thought the track was going to take a different direction than it did as the race unfolded. So, you know, just as it turned out, our strategy wasn't the best. But, well, that was on me.
And his son, Bo, comes up to give him a hug. Josh?
Well, Chase Briscoe comes home 5th, battling towards the end of that race with Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell and battling that broken finger. What more did you need tonight?
I don't know. I just needed a little bit more on the top. I felt like I was okay. I just wasn't quite as good. I thought the 45 was definitely probably the best. You know, the 20, I felt like I could kind of pace him, but it was going to be nearly impossible to pass him. You know, there's a couple times I was close in 1 and 2. You know, I just kind of felt like I had my hands tied the whole time. I just needed to be a little bit more better. But, yeah, overall, you know, an awesome day for our Magical Vacation Planners Ford. Really cool paint scheme. They had 500 other planners on the car, so a lot of smiling faces on the car. Wish we could have had them all smiling in victory lane, but nevertheless, you know, overall just a good solid points night for us, which is something that we haven't really had all season long. So, yeah, I wish we could have got the win, but, yeah, I thought it was an awesome race. I hope the fans thought it was, too. I felt like more of a real dirt race than we've had really any of the years. So, I had a lot of fun in the car, and, yeah, hopefully my finger will feel good tomorrow.
First top 5 finish on the Bristol Dirt for Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, dirt track veterans took all of the top 5 places tonight. Let's go back and show you what happened to end the race here. That's Suarez.
Looked like Suarez out the front of, I think
Barry.
that was, well, Chris Buescher. Man, big contact with Barry into Chastain. But watch these leaders come off of. He was there.
He was in position.
It's going to be interesting.
All right, Shannon and Jamie will take us home after the break. Christopher Bell for Joe Gibbs and Toyota celebrates in Bristol.